We're good? Cool.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sebastian Daga, and today, joining me on my right side is Parker Gurash today, and big game today. Obviously, the homecoming for the Desert Mountains. All the fans joining us today at Desert Mountain High School wearing the color pink. I'm not sure if there's a specific meaning for that, but I'm not sure what's going on. Big game today against ALA-Gilbert North. Parker, give me some details. It's been a while since I was last on the broadcast. It's been a couple weeks, been MIA, but I'm glad I'm back.
Yeah, it has been. Desert Mountain is facing ALA-Gilbert North, which has one of the most high-powered offenses in the state, one of the most high-powered players in state history, like we've all heard about Brandon Phelps. But this should be a very interesting game. You got Gilbert North, who has 2 losses on the season. That comes from ALA Queen Creek, who has looked as one of the best in the state, and then Higley, who won the 5A state championship last year. Probably their toughest game of the season will be this game. There's 5 starters out, including Dylan Tapley and Tony Cumberland. So this will be a very, very tough task for the Wolves tonight.
Indeed, as we're going to have Brandon Phelps, the kicker for ALA-Gilbert North, getting ready to start off today's game, and he does so in this beautiful evening here at Scottsdale, Arizona. The biggest highlight, like you mentioned, Parker, we're going to have Santana Wilson, the son of Adrian Wilson, taking on Brandon Phelps, Mr. Record holder here in Arizona. Just last week, breaking Christian's Herc record of receiving touchdowns and receiving yards, as he's going to make his name as the all-time leader for Arizona. And also last week against Cactus Shadows as well, he broke the reception record held by former Desert Mountain wide receiver Cade Warner, also the son of Kurt Warner. So much achievements off of that, just that 1 week. As we're going to get ready here for the snap, Brady McDonough at the backfield. It had a bye week, so hopefully don't get too rusty here. He's going to set in motion Lucas Blumley as he's going to get a quick handoff as we're going to try to get the orders in. It's like you mentioned, both the running backs for the team, the starters, Ryan McDonough and Max Sheffrin, the leader in the receiving corps for the rushing corps for Desert Mountain out. As we're going to try to make out who the running back starting today is.
I'm assuming it's going to be Cameron Terry tonight. He got a lot of run at Cactus Shadows before their bye week, so he is expected to have a lot more time on the field, a lot more snaps.
Indeed. So Cameron Terry in the backfield for Desert Mountain. Brady McDonough receives the snaps here. He looks to his left, connecting to one of the receivers. I believe that's Jack Freeberg, who I believe is going to need to have a huge game today. He's going to be stepping up immensely in the empty shoes of Dylan Tapley, who won't be playing today, as I've heard from some sources. He's currently injured for this week. Something happening with the shoulder, but I did get confirmation from the man himself that he's going to try to get back in a very crucial game next week against Higley.
Yeah, Jack Freeberg, he's going to be wide receiver 1, like he said, for this offense. He's also most wanted number 1 for the ALA-Gilbert North defense. He's going to be the top target. You do have guys like Journey Solomon. You got Dylan Hipp still, but Freeberg is definitely going to be a key piece of this offense tonight.
And indeed, as we're going to get in motion, I think that's Santana Wilson in the offense, showing some season. He looks deep, and he finds Jack Freeberg wide open. 30, the 20, the 10, broken touch, untouched into the end zone, touchdown Desert Mountain. They take the early lead off of 3 snaps. Brady McDonough finds Jack Freeberg open right in the middle, just like you mentioned, Parker, as we get the fireworks out here. So amazing. What a start for the homecoming game. My goodness, Parker.
Those are 2 rough plays to start with, first and second down, third down and deep. Well, I think he was about third down and 12, I believe it was. To have that play, the defense is clearly confused with the 2 cornerbacks on there. Freeberg was wide open, and right as we said, he needed to be a major impact player tonight. He gets the first points on the board for this Wolves team.
Indeed. Adds on towards his tally. Currently has 3 touchdowns. Add another one. He's going to have 4 now. Adding that one, such a huge play, and at the end you got to look at ALA-Gilbert North. Broken play. Was it just the wrong structure? It seemed to me it was a zone coverage, free safety, strong safety covering their own corners, and Jack Freeberg really routing a really good play. I'm not sure if his corner just missed it or it's just bad coverage from the defense. Gets the post route, and boom, Brady McDonough making a bit of time happen, and he just sees the man open, and he goes in the end zone untouched.
Yeah, this defense, also, they don't allow a lot of points. They have their 2 losses against Queen Creek and Higley, and they put up a lot of points on them, but they have 233 total tackles on the year. Add, 2 or 3 to those? 10 sacks and 9 interceptions. So this is a very active defense. definitely a miscommunication there, but with Desert Mountain able to capitalize like that and also too, they haven't really scored a lot of points in the first quarter for the games we've covered this year. They've had a lot of penalty trouble, a lot of time just not being able to get stuff going. With 5 starters out, that was a very impressive first drive for the Wolves.
Indeed, and that's where the nation mark is going to be at. The absence of Dylan Tapley, a true leader, one of the captains for the Mountain team, and none better. Just you can't write it any better than Jack Freeberg just making the play happen. And his speed, too. His speed is shown as well. And really more into that play. Santana Wilson was in that play. I'm not sure you saw him. He was in the backfield. He was in the play for it. He just had like a little dig route all the way into the far ends. And Brady didn't really need him. And just like that. And now that Desert Mountain's offense, they score on their first drive. Now the defense creates some questions as Alex Squeeze gets ready for the kickoff. It's going to go deep. Will be considered a touchback right on the hands of McKay Beardall, the starting running back for the Eagles. And more to that play. Now that the offense stepped up, defense, big question marks, just like you mentioned, last couple of weeks. Well, except for Cactus Shadow, more of a comfortable road there, but they had 2 really close games.
Yep.
One of them being against Horizon, just squeezing out the victory. It was a last-minute touchdown to, I believe, was it Dylan Hibb?
Yeah, well, it was Hibb with the Horizon game, yes.
And they take the win just with seconds remaining in that game. Defense allowed 22 in that game. And now questions open. Just like you mentioned, the defense for the Eagles, they allowed 49 on both their losses. And just like that.
And this is also going to be a very interesting test for Santana Wilson. He's gone up against usually the wide receiver 1. He's got one of the best wide receivers in state history going up with Brandon Phelps against him tonight.
Indeed, as we're going to have White getting ready for the bag. He goes immediately drop, and he's going to throw it into second number. I want to say second number 1 receiver because the tight end Slade, he's obviously questioned, no doubt, receiver number 2 for the team, but when he plays phenomenal, Brandon Phelps doesn't need to step up. It's one of them, or they both play amazing. And more to that, both receiving cores in Titan Slade and Brandon Phelps, 11 touchdowns each on the season. We're reaching week 8. Of course, three weeks left in the regular season for both of the teams. Obviously, fighting to scraps into the open division, and then obviously if that doesn't work out, they got their own respective league in the 5A region. And today, huge matchup. It's going to see how it goes out and how it fares for both sides of the team. Tight end gets a quick motion to the left side of the field. He gets the ball, breaks a couple tackles, gets immediately met by Santana Wilson making the big play there, making his presence noticed. And just like that, 2 quick plays to Titus Slade.
Yeah, speaking about Slade, 33 receptions on the year coming into tonight's game, 538 yards. I mean, we got, 3-4 weeks left of the season? So he's been a really, really impact player for them. And like you're saying, if Phelps doesn't need to step up, which he doesn't even, I feel like, step up. He just is able to get open and get those big-time plays. But, yeah, this is a high-powered offense like we've talked about. They don't run a lot. So it's been interesting to see these little quick outplays to Slade. Let's see if they can go down the field and make something happen.
Indeed. Just like what you mentioned, Brandon Phelps' presence is already known. You already see a couple players in there, a bit of a confusion.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout on the field.
Indeed, and which is pretty good. We finally get to digest what just happened. 4 minutes in, Desert Mountain leads 7-0. And just like that, a bit of a confusion on both sides. Third down, quick third, and I believe short, hard to make out. Is it just me or Desert Mountain? They got a new screen, new scoreboard on.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
A new scoreboard, it looks a bit...
at least brighter. It's a little bit brighter, I think, at least. So
it is
that's
a little
really
bit bright.
cool.
So great renovations here, and better tonight in the homecoming game as well. Everyone wearing pink, everyone supporting the Desert Mountain Wolves as they're going to really need it tonight with majority of the starters out. As you mentioned, 5 of them being out, some of them being very crucial. 2 of them, Tony Cumberland and Dylan Tapley, and can't get enough. I said Dylan Tapley more than Jack Freeberg, and he's not even being played. That's how much of a presence he creates for this Desert Mountains offense.
Yeah, you also really think about it. Cactus Shadows, they won by 20-plus points. They had 6 starters out. So adding 1, I really hope they can make an impact again. But they also didn't play a lot of starters against Cactus Shadows, too, in the second half. So a lot of rest has happened for the Wolves.
Indeed. As Phelps gets motion on to the right side, Connor White and shotgun receives the ball. He's looking that way. He is trying to find him, but he's getting pressured right off the rip. And he gets absolutely met at the end. It just ends up throwing it away. We're going to try. I'm not really sure who was back there. I think it was Lucas Bloomley. It indeed is Lucas Bloomley making his presence. No, another another core in this defense. And just like that, quick 3 and out for the Desert Mountains defense.
Yeah, and that's a great first drive defensively for Desert Mountain. No penalties, no first down conversions, nothing. And with this ALA Gilbert North team, their points on the season, 49, 48, 28, 56, 42, 29, and 49 again.
Yeah.
So the fact they were able to slow them down, which is something not a lot of teams have been able to do this year, is extremely impressive with 5 starters out.
Indeed, and it's very huge too, because when you're Desert Mountain here, you and your Coach Hamilton, you got to speak with Coach Hamilton earlier. And also do not forget, Coach Hamilton will be on the Varsity Sports Show tomorrow from 8 to 10 at KDUS, 1060 PS. The punt gets ready there. I believe that was Phelps who got the punt off as well. He's all over the place. He's
the kicker, the punter, and wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he's just doing everything for the Eagles.
He might be out on
today.
defense tonight. Who knows?
Who knows? And that's something as well that Desert Mountain's missing as well from Dylan Tapley. He's one of the starting safeties. Won't be playing today, so he's going to be relying a lot on the corners, the corner duel, the dynamic duel, indeed, of Santana Wilson and Elijah Banquil, Elijah Mears, one of the others. As we have a
legal
penalty.
Formation on the offense.
Illegal formation, indeed. Penalty starting off.
Are they going to punt it again?
It looks like Hamilton's going to accept it. Probably try to get a better field position. As
they're repunting it.
So when it's an illegal formation, they just automatic re-kick.
Interesting.
Just confirmed from my tech director. Shout out to Tyler.
Shout out Tyler.
So there's going to be a re-kick here. And let's see how Brandon Phelps gets a good kicker. Probably he's going to be nominated as punter of the state as well. Might as well. Doing it all for the Eagles as he gets ready for the punt. Pressure getting closer. He gets it off just in time. Equal punt. Same area. Freebridge decides to get the fair catch going. Probably just want to get a good hit there. And they're going to start off in pretty good position on their own 40-yard line. And just like that, the Desert Mountains Wolves, they set the tempo. They score on the first drive. They stop the Eagles from scoring on their first drive. And more importantly, if you're Connor White, you're obviously looking for your All-American receiver in Brandon Phelps. And Desert Mountains all over that. And Lucas Bloomley providing the pressure, gets the quick forced throw off of Connor White. Forces the turnover, forces the 3 and out.
Journey Solomon's got to be an impact player, too. He's got 18 receptions on the year, so watch out for him as well.
Indeed, as they're going to hand it off there to Cameron. Terry get the quick reception there of approximately 4 yards there. And just like you mentioned, Cameron Terry is going to be stepping up huge for Desert Mountain tonight. No Ryan McDonough, no Max Sheffer, and both lead the backfield. So big Cameron Terry steps in tonight.
And it's something I noticed, too, in the Cactus Shadows game, they also use Santana Wilson as their running back, too. Kind of in a Debo Samuel role. He was a little bit in the slot. He was in the backfield with McDonough, so he could also be on a running play, too.
So Santana Wilson making his presence defensively and offensively.
And special teams.
And special teams, too, as they hand it off to Santana Wilson. He's trying to get the corner on the route. Gets really met up there by the defense of the Eagles. Pick up the number coming up there. Look, it's going to be number 4 for the defense, Malik Barrett, with the big tackle there of no gain there off of Santana Wilson. As he's going to get subbed out. He's going to get stepped in here. And just like you mentioned, a Debo formation. Interesting how Desert Mountain will play around that. Maybe the lack of Dylan Tapley forces them to use Santana Wilson. So hopefully that won't have too much of an impact. Perhaps he doesn't get too tired later on. As playing both ways, it's a hard feat.
Freeburg's coming out for this play, too, or so, but something I wanted to emphasize on the defense quickly for ALA. 10 sacks on the year. They can get to the quarterback really aggressively, and that's something they could be doing tonight as well.
Interesting. 10 sacks, indeed. Brady McDonough with the snap. In shotgun formation. Throws it. Gets a quick guard. Gets the first down, indeed. Let's try to make it out. Those black jerseys do not help. Deep down. You're just trying to get the good number there. And I believe it's going to be number 8. So it is going to be 20.
Will Saba.
Will Saba. As the depletion of Dylan Tapley forced to use all the players today. So Will Saba gets the reception there. He moves the chains there. Fresh pair of downs for the Wolves. And the Eagles, the defense not starting off well. As Ryan McDonough in shotgun formation right next to him is Cameron Terry. Low snap, still corralled in by, or it isn't Cameron Terry. It's Santana Wilson. He breaks it off. He gets the open space. My goodness, Santana Wilson gets off, and he adds a touchdown into his resume. Desert Mountain with the quick 13-0 lead. We do have a penalty marker on the field there, but my goodness, what a play there from Santana Wilson. Cutting it off in the edge, breaking it out there, and his speed takes over.
He had a pick a couple of weeks ago. He took it right down. Oh, I think it was a block field goal for the Horizon game. He took it right down the field with his speed, too. He's just got different types of levels and gears he can get into. Like we were talking about, kind of in the Deebo Samuel role with the offense. I think they're going to use him more for the rest of the season. He's just an impact player whenever he can get on this field for the Desert Mountain team. I am not surprised we just saw a touchdown by Santana Wilson tonight.
As we're going to have a penalty flag, going to be a sportsmanlike conduct on Santana Wilson.
And I'd get fired up too right now.
Exactly. What a play there from really Coach Hamilton and Brady McDonough forcing out the quick pass, or excuse me, the handoff to Santana Wilson. And, Santana Wilson on paper, it's not a big guy, obviously. No. He's played more of the cornerback. He has more of that DB presence, DB built, but the speed. And that showed it there in that quick touchdown play. As Alex Weeks gets the kicks ready, it looks like he missed it, shanked it to the right. Scores will remain 13-0, but just like that, Desert Mountains, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and just about on that block kick was number 8, Cody Thorley for the Eagles. He plays middle linebacker and running back. He's one of their top running backs. But like we were saying, going back to Desert Mountain, this has been a great start. And this is, I think, a start that they've needed. We've been with them all season. It's been a lot of ups and downs. Coach Hamilton has told us a handful of times. He thought this was the most mediocre 5A team in the state. But they played really well against Cactus Shadows before the bye week. Come out, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. He still got 6.5 left in the first quarter. I don't think Coach Hamilton could ask for anything more than what he's got from his guys so far.
Yeah, and, they come off the bye week as well, and, questions could arise. Perhaps they get rusty, the lack of participating, and, the bye week. Not sure how really Coach Hamilton has those practices. He got multiple in a day. And it looks like he does have multiple in a day as their players. They come out fired up, and more to it, it's homecoming. Who wouldn't want to be fired up tonight if you're the Wolves?
And you always wonder, too, with bye weeks, like you're talking about with Russ, especially for high school kids. That's fall break for them. They might have been out of state. They might have been on vacation with their family. So you just never know what you're going to expect. But coming out like this, great job by the Wolves so far.
Alex Weeks gets a good kickoff ready. Not sure who got the reception there. It's going to be McKay Beardall with the kick there. And probably a good gain of 10, 15 yards there. And they're going to get off in good position here at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, McKay Beardall, excuse me. He's one of their top running backs. 48 carries on the year, 280 total yards, 9 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, averaging almost 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, so he's been really active for them when they haven't had to use. But again, like we talked about pregame, just you and me, this is a team that likes to throw it a lot. They have 2 top wide receivers in this state. So watch out for Beardall, though, to be used in the slot, used as a pocket pass guy. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how ALA is going to come out with this drive right here as we have a timeout on the field by Desert Mountain.
Timeout indeed. I believe that was called by Coach Hamilton. Probably didn't like what you see on the field. And really, just like you mentioned, we talked a lot. This team likes to throw. ALA-Gilbert North, they like to throw a lot. And that's like 99% of their offense. Obviously, they got a good running group as well, especially with McKay Beardall. Loves running the rock as well, just like you mentioned, 280 yards on the season. But the throwing, it's punctual. And,
yes.
And I understand why Coach Hamilton calls a timeout here. All it takes is one play for this team. All it takes is one play. We saw a clip of Brandon Phelps just one-handing a catch, and he just takes it, the immense control off of him. And there's a reason why he has all these records in Arizona. And there's a reason why he's probably going to be All-American this season as well.
Yeah, you talk about Connor White, going back to him for a second, 61% completion percentage throughout the season so far, 2,069 yards on the season too. He's a kid that can sling it with the best of them. He averages around 295 yards a game, so like you're talking about. This is a team that likes to get active with the passing game, but they can also defer to their running backs.
Yeah, absolutely. And more to that on Connor White, he's very protective of the ball. He's smart. He knows what to do. Only 7 interceptions on the season, but 21 touchdowns. As he's going to hand it off there to Beardall. Just met up there by Desert Mountain. They're ready. The defense, I'm not sure what the defensive coordinator prepped up today, but they are prepared. They are reading these guys like a book.
Well, like I talked about, too, this is an offense that gets active and fast. And it might just be the competition they face this year. Maybe it's been a little bit weaker. This might be ALA-Gilbert North's one of their toughest tasks so far. I know they played Higley and ALA Queen Creek, but this could be a very tough game again for them.
Indeed. as White just immediately just gets met up there. My goodness, Lucas Bloomy, I believe. Or no, it's going to be Elijah Mears, I believe. Number 18, Michael Shelbrick with
Shout out Michael.
Not on the notes, probably a wrong jersey number there, but hey, he makes a huge tackle that just reads Connor White off of the play there, just a quick stream pass there, and just met up immediately. Another loss to play there, and it's 3rd and long here for the Eagles. As Connor White, backfield, get ready for the shotgun motions player. He's looking deep. He has time. He has place. He's going to get met up there. And just like that, he is sacked. Lucas Bloomy, or no, Dylan Hipp with the sack there. Dylan Hipp making his presence known. And just like that, another 3 and out. All 3 plays for negative yards for the Eagles. The offense, they look confused.
Yeah, and you got to think about it, too. No Tony Cumberland tonight. That's probably their top defensive player on this roster with how he impacts the game. So we haven't seen much of Dylan Hipp on the offensive side, but he's been just really consistent defensively. He's in on every play, pressures, everything like that. So for him to get that sack, I literally said while you were talking, great protection, because it was. And all of a sudden, I see Hipp come around the corner. But yeah, that is a great job by Desert Mountain's defense again.
Yeah, high snap there. Brandon Phelps still corrals it, gets a good punt on indeed. Jack Freeberg muffles the ball, still recovers. Nice and fair. Not the way you wanted to hand it off there. Probably thought a bit about, the last punt. He had open space, free space everywhere, and he decided to get the fair catch here. Not today, but he ends up muffling it. Luckily, nothing bad happened. Start off at their own 40-yard line, and you see what the Desert Mountains offense could do. They back-to-back drives, back-to-back touchdowns.
Yep.
And then all the questions right now are rising to the Eagles. They can't stop a play. It's been 2 huge plays. It hasn't really been Desert Mountain going down their throats. It's just been 2 huge plays. Props to Santana Wilson and Jack Freeberg. 40-plus yards, and that's how you get their 2 touchdowns. That's not the way you want to give it up. You want them to fight for every yard, and they need to recoup here, and they want to start something. It's this drive.
Hunter Garrison for the ALA Eagles is someone to watch out for as well. He's got 4 sacks on the year, so he's very active on that side as well, so watch out for him.
Indeed, and if you need someone just like that, when it comes to the offense for Desert Mountain, as Brady McDonough gets a snap, fakes it off, finds the deep route, ends up connecting to another receiver. So far, I believe Brady McDonough perfect. I was going to try to get, I believe that's Jack Freeberg.
It is.
Making more into this tally, and he's making himself number 1 tonight, making his name noticed there. But more what I wanted to add on, if you're the Eagles, you want to get the pressure going, because what I've noticed when I watch Desert Mountain, and especially Brady McDonough, when he gets flustered and when he has no time in the pocket, he doesn't make very good decisions. He's not too protective of the ball, has a couple interceptions here and there. See the tally total, and
6 interceptions on the year.
Absolutely, just one under than Cody Tanner, and we're gonna see what happens here. Just not sure of a bit of confusion there. Hands it off to Jack Freeberg. I thought Brady was gonna keep on that there, but good play there from the Eagles, stopping Jack Freeberg, gaining nothing.
Stockton Dye in on that tackle for ALA-Gilbert North there. Freeberg could have cut on the inside with Dye just diving to his legs. Could have avoided that tackle. Tough break for them, but that brings up 2nd down for the Wolves.
2nd down. First time I see 2nd down so far, other than that first drive where it took a couple plays here and there, and he just connected Jack Freeberg. So Brady McDonough in the shotgun, analyzing the backfield, see what he could do here. Motions Jack Freeberg, hands it off to Terry Cameron. Bit of a muffle there, and he lets go of the ball. You just saw right off the bat that Brady McDonough couldn't deliver it to Cameron, and you saw the muffles, and just like that, couldn't corral the ball, and he gives it up, and just like that, the Eagles get something huge.
And Boston Morris looked like he was the one to recover that fumble. Tough break for Terry on that run. It looked like he hit the blocker in front of him, or there was a little bit of there's a lot of people in that pile. But yeah, tough break for the Wolves. That could capitalize and kickstart Gilbert North to start getting something. Like you were talking about, it takes one play. They're in the Desert Mountain side of the field for the first time tonight. 3:10 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's just not the way you want to go, especially you score 2 touchdowns. You get the momentum going, and, a lot of doubt starts being created by the Eagles. You give them a quick play like that, the fumble, just like that. They get the ball right back. So they start off with good possession. Connor White with the possession, throws it to his All-American receiver, Brandon Phelps, beats Santana Wilson on the quick slant cut there, and a gain of around 15 yards. And just like that, first reception for Phelps.
Did he get that All-American nod?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming it is. I should probably relax. Brandon Phelps, All-American. It both makes connections. So Brandon Phelps gets the reception there, gets a gain of 15 yards, starts off the drive exactly how you want there for the Eagles. It's Connor White, the junior, in shotgun position. Gets the first down for the Eagles. Looks at Brandon Phelps' way, but decides to get the QB sneak in.
Oh.
He gets open yardage. It looked like a bit of a broken play. Tried to go in through the middle, but decides to go out to the left side and gets a good gain of approximately, can't really tell what the angle.
Looks like about 6.
6 yards.
2nd and 5, I think they said.
2nd and 5. Gain of 5 yards off of the sneak there. And the drive is going, and seems like the Eagles, they figured something out.
Connor White, he's their second leading rusher on the season. 40 carries, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns on the season. He can get out of the pocket if the line breaks and there's no open receiver. So he could also be used as a little bit more of just instead of just a quarterback.
We have a low snap, but he's going to hand it off to Beerball. And something note as well as he ends up throwing the interception. And just like that, Santana Wilson gets it right back for the Desert Mountains defense. But more what else is going to add there. Beerball, who was throwing the balls. We do have a penalty flag, I think.
We do have a penalty on the field. If it stands, it will be Wilson's. So it looks like this.
It's on the.
Yeah.
I think it's on the Eagles. I think the interception will stand.
Yes. The pick stands. It was on the. I think it was false start or something. I don't know. But it was on the Eagles regardless.
It was.
Rough play. Wilson gets his 2nd interception on the year. And again, that puts the Wolves back in a deep zone. But, I mean, great job being able to capitalize and get their own turnover after their offensive turnover.
Yeah, and there's just no better play just like that. And, something I really wanted a moment when what I wanted to notice was Beerball. There's been a play, I believe, on Max Purpose notes that he has 1 passing attempt, 1 touchdown for 80 yards. So I'm not sure what that play was supposed to be. Probably a complete disaster, but just like that, bit of a huge play there. Jack Freeberg to the intended receiver, just a bit too high for him, and it ends up juggling off. Luckily, there's no DB right behind him. That would have been another interception.
That was number 11, Boston Morris, again in on that deflection. I don't think it was a deflection, but he was just about to hit Freeberg.
Yeah.
He's a guy they kind of use all over the field. I've noticed the first few minutes of this game, so watch out for him.
Yeah, indeed. Jack Freeberg unable to corral the ball there. As the continued drives here, 2nd and 10. Motions on both Dylan Hip and the receiver. He hands it off. He actually keeps it himself, breaks a quick tackle there, gets a really good gain there. Not sure if it was another low slap there. Noticing a couple low snaps. Not sure what's a little bit of the anxious there, but just like that, quick, good gain there from Brady McDonough. And third and short coming.
I always get concerned with doing running plays so close to your own end zone, at least in the high school level, because you never know. Like a bad snap could happen, a fumble, all of a sudden you're in your own end zone and it's a safety. McDonough was able to really trick out the defense there and get those handful of yards. But yeah, that was definitely a scary play for Desert Mountains offense.
So 3rd and short coming. Brady McDonough with the possession. He had Jack Freeberg open, decides not to throw that the way, but he ends up getting it. 2 under receivers. Journey Solomon, first reception of the night, makes a huge play there, open gap right in the middle of the field, and gets and moves the chains.
Number 19 on the year, I believe. He's been a really solid receiver for them with Tapley out too.
As they're going to do a quick motion, quick play going, and just quick screen pass to Jack Freeberg. He gets good 2-3 yards there and trying to get tempo going. We've seen it a lot from Desert Mountain. We get a huge play and you want to get tempo. They want to catch the defense off guard. They want to catch them unexpectedly. And just like that, you start off from your own 10-yard line, a couple 2 plays that didn't look too good. And you get the huge big play to Journey Solomon. And just like that, you're breathing well in this drive. Your Desert Mountain, they have a comfy lead too, 13-0. Just approaching the under 1 minute mark for the first quarter. Brady McDonough hands it off to Cameron Terry, but it's going to be a penalty flag. So we'll see what that is.
Snap. False start. Offense number 4. 5 yards. Still second down.
On the Desert Mountain Wolves, I believe their first one of the night. And let's see if there will be a couple more dirty laundry. So far, believe it was 3-4 flags in this first quarter. So far, it's been pretty good football from both teams. Of course, Desert Mountain's been outplaying so far, as we're going to have some more whistles on the field. We're going to see what happens here.
Looks like they need a substitute for somebody.
It looks like it will be a substitution. It's going to be number 20 for the Wolves. Will Saba coming in. And I'm not sure who really went out there. Was that Journey Solomon? It was Journey Solomon who goes out for this play. Will Saba will be his replacement. And perhaps the last play of the first. Hands it off to Cameron. Or it's going to be a fake to Cameron Terry. He ends up keeping it himself. But was read by the Eagles. Not sure who really made the play there. Was it number 12, Titan Slade? Loss of 2. And I believe this might be the last play of the first quarter. And Desert Mountain, all in control.
Yeah, the Wolves are really good. 13-0. I don't know if they made the kick on. I thought they made both kicks, but was it tipped?
No, it was just a shank onto the right. So just like that, first quarter ends right there. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this small break.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Welcome back to the second quarter here at Desert Mountain, located in Scottsdale, Arizona. My name is Sebastian. I am joined here with Parker Gurash. And today, where are we saying? Today, we're watching the second quarter. So far, it's all Desert Mountain. Their lead 13-0 with the shank extra point being honestly their only bad play other than the fumble as well by Cameron Terry. But they ended up getting it right back. Props to Santana Wilson. And it's going to be third and long, and it's going to be third and longer after this false start here.
That was number 64, Chase Gilbert. I think they were going to do their usual motion with hip and a receiver in the slot. The offensive tackle moved as well, and that's going to move him back 5 yards.
5 yards indeed, and it's going to be third and long here. You're not in good field position here. See perhaps a running play here to Cameron Terry's in motion. Still get the motions indeed. To Lucas Bloomley and Dylan Hipp as Brady gets a snap, shotgun, head step. Looking deep, was about to let it go. Ends up running it. He ends up breaking a one tackle. He ends up falling down. I believe it's going to be just short on the first down. 2 yards, I believe, just short. To me, it looked like he slipped or something because I feel like he could have gone that first down, but he ends up just throwing himself down, making sure he's a defensive receiver. He doesn't get a good hit there and gets a good gain there. And, questions are right. Did they go for it here?
Coming off a torn ACL, I know we're week 8, I believe? Week 8?
Week 8, yep.
The fact he came off torn ACL, the last game of the season, is already playing. For him to be able to break out of the tackle and have that strength to do that, extremely impressive. That brings up a short fourth down.
As they're going to indeed try to go for it here. They try to get a snap count going. That's Brady McDonough. I think indeed they're going to try to get the count off. Try to get him to
they're going to
off sides, and going to be another timeout. Dinling, the second one used in this first half.
Interesting.
And I think they will punt it indeed. Let's recap real quick. Before this game started, before we went live, I told you the eyes were going to be on Santana Wilson not only because he's such a great receiver committing to Texas, he's going to be playing off against probably the top receiver so far in Arizona this year, Brandon Phelps. And other than that one play that he beat him on the slant, it's been all Santana Wilson. He has a touchdown in his name as a defensive player, and he has the interception. So far, Santana Wilson having the one-up on Brandon Phelps. Does that continue?
I mean, with Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now, a lot of the reporters around the area were also focusing in on this matchup as well, with Phelps beating the record and then with Wilson being who he is. So everyone was very focused on that. But like you're saying, Wilson does have the upper edge right now. Hopefully it continues. But, you know, I've never seen Brandon Phelps play before. So this is my first time playing. So I don't know really what to expect from him. We've seen the stats. We've seen the accolades. It's great. As we get the punt team is out here for Desert Mountain.
Indeed, as we're going to have the punt getting ready for the Wolves. Gets the snap ready. Lets it go. Good punt. Good air time all the way into the 25th.
Oh,
just right there, it's going to be Beerball with the possession. He ends up breaking the corner. He has open space. There is a penalty flag on the field, though, but he just found the corner there on the edges and able to get a good 40-yard return there. But the penalty flag is going to be...
I think it's going to be holding on ALA-Gilbert North. Number 3, Noah Shern was holding one of Desert Mountain's special teams players here. I don't know if that's going to be the exact call, but that's what I saw at least.
So it looks like it will be a holding. It is going to be on the Eagles. Great call there.
Look at me becoming a great broadcaster.
Might as well just become blue right now. Go on and get the suit ready. Just like that, a huge play there from Beardall just gets negated, and Eagles are going to be going backyards. And luckily, a break for Desert Mountain because the momentum they're getting there is a broken tackle right off the rip from Beardall. And he's able to get it and able to break it off to the 40-yard line for Desert Mountain. But the penalty holds him back there. It won't be all the way where he ends up catching the ball. It's just going to be where the play ends. So they're going to start in their own 45-yard line. Great field position here for the Eagles. As Connor White, shotgun position, motions. It's going to be a bobble snap, dropped out, recovered there by Connor White, but ends up throwing it. What a bit of a all over the play there.
And there's a penalty on the field.
It is a penalty. It might be a collar tackle.
So he grabbed the jersey from the back, like the back side.
Yeah, you saw that. That kind of stirred me up, and then Connor White just ended up throwing the ball away, unless they're calling it intentional grounding.
It might be intentional grounding because he was out of the pocket.
And
he just throws it out of bounds.
So it might be intentional grounding here. It is going to be an intentional grounding there, just like that. Yeah, we're getting these penalties down. Nothing better than getting the penalties down. So it's going to be a loss of down regardless, plus more negative yards in there, and
hey, man.
And just like that.
We've been doing this for a little bit now, so us calling some plays, it might happen from time to time.
Just like that, and from good field position to just one bad play there from Connor White and the Eagles, and they're in their own 20-yard line as he's going to get a good swing there, and he's just not there. Close person there was, I believe, number 34, Desert Mountain's going to be General Solomon in the vicinity, intended to Boston Morris. Unable to corral it there, perhaps a bit of a nerves because you have all that free space. You know, perhaps when you look there, boom, you get hit. Obviously, the nerves get there. Unable to corral it there, but maybe that was a better play because that would have been a loss of even more yards. And now the momentum here, the fans are getting hyped here. 3rd and long coming up for the Eagles. As White, shotgun, the motions. Brandon Phelps gets lost in the motion there, and he has time. He's going to look deep. He's looking for his number 2 receiver. And it looks like it's going to be intercepted again.
By Santana.
Santana Wilson getting his 2nd interception of the night. And that ball was intended there to Titan Slade, the number 2 receiver. Obviously, White has 2 great receivers, both with 11 touchdowns on the night. But Santana Wilson making his name tonight.
Hey, man, he hasn't, even though he's been impactful in plays, he hasn't had one specific impactful game. You can go back to the block field goals with Chaparral and Horizon. He had one with Cactus Shadows. He's been here and there. He only 1 pick on the season, and as looked at as one of probably the best cornerback in the state. He's had a little bit of a slower year on that side. Now he's got 2 picks in 2 drives?
In 2 drives, yeah, I believe.
So back-to-back drives. So that and a touchdown too. I mean, he's been lights out so far tonight.
The game was already ending as we have the low snap there to Brady McDonough. Throwing it off to Jack Freeber. Blake in a good slow action there. Able to almost break a tackle, but able to get a good reception and a good gain of approximately 4 yards. But going back into that play, or back what I was trying to say, the game was already coming to an end. Santana Wilson, without a doubt, being player of the game, making it easy for you tonight. But my goodness, Great play there from Santana Wilson. And, more questions on to Connor White. He plays phenomenal. He's been playing very solid this year. And he's not protecting the ball. And he's really trying to essentially make me look back, because when I mentioned Connor White, when he has the ball, he knows what to do with it. He's very smart. He knows what to do, protects it very well. 7 interceptions tonight, but he loves throwing the ball. Already 9, 2 alone in this game. Brady McDonough gets a snap, throws it off to Dylan Hip. Good reception there, and he's going to be a fumble. I'm not sure if he was counted down.
Oh, he was down. They're calling it as down.
As when he was falling down, the elbow is counted as part of the play where you get noticed down, and that's where the ball got loose there. Desert Mountain, they saved themselves again. It's been turning more into Desert Mountain's dominance into the turnover game. Almost back-to-back turnovers. Would have been 4 straight drives from turnovers.
Yeah, that would have been rough for them. Thankfully, the ref says it was called down. Called down, you can't. There's no challenges in high school football.
No challenge indeed. I mean, you have a TV right there. They could probably review if they really wanted to.
We got a couple of cameras.
Cameras, right? Yeah. Look over on YouTube at Varsity Sports Show. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Great game today. Desert Mountain against ALA-Gilbert North, as we're going to have, I believe, their final timeout there from Coach Hamilton. Nothing for the rest of this first half. 9 minutes remaining in this second half. And Parker, take a little breather here. Take over. What have you been seeing so far, and what's going on?
It's just been all Desert Mountain. I mean, that's the biggest thing from it, is that they came out really effective and really consistent on offense through those first 2 drives. And their defense, unfortunately, maybe without 5 starters, it might have helped the team as a whole. Other guys had to step up and be able to actually play competitive and not really rely on other guys to make plays. It's really that type of scenario where it's like everyone has to be on their A game, has to come ready to go. Because, with this game, they got Higley next week, who beat them in the state playoffs, and then Notre Dame Prep, who's kind of been a rival these last couple of years. So we don't know what the future holds for the other starters that are out. We don't know if Max Sheffrin, Ryan McDonough, Dylan Tapley, Tony Cumberland, we don't know if these guys are going to play the rest of the season. We know they're not playing tonight. So for them to be able to come in with their heads up and make plays all game so far and really just been on their A game, it's been really, really good for Desert Mountain.
And, if they can't stop it, why change it? Santana Wilson in the backfield. Again, he's looking deep. Was a shovel option there for Brady McDonough, but he gets immediately met up there. Number 8, Cody Thorley for ALA-Gilbert North. And just like you mentioned, he's probably one of the shining stars so far tonight for the defense.
McDonough has been kind of nursing a sprained ankle. I had a source close to the team tell me he was dealing with a sprained ankle all the way back to the Sunrise Mountain game, I believe. He was a little bit hesitant on it at the Cactus game. Horizon, we kind of saw a little bit of struggles, especially throwing interceptions. He played a little bit against Cactus Shadows, and then tonight he's been really consistent. But this is the most active I've seen him on the ground by himself. He hasn't really been able to make plays on his own if the offensive line breaks down. But great job by him trying to see that there was nobody around for him to go and make that play.
Yeah, I was going to critique Brady, not giving the shovel pass there to Santana, as he's going to throw it straight to Santana Wilson. The speed gets showed off there, and he's just guaranteed 6 yards. I wonder how many yards he's averaging so far, but he's making his action play. But the play before that, it was 3rd and short. They were given the first down there, so it's going to be 2nd down coming up. But he had that shovel option to Santana Wilson, and I feel like he had green grass, and with the speed, I can't stress it enough, the speed of Santana Wilson, he's able to take it to the house when he just has that small green space. Give him that little opportunity, and he's taking it home. And just like that, able to pick up 6 yards, 7 yards there, and 2nd and short coming up for the Wolves. As now, we're going to get the Desert Mountains offense getting themselves in motion. Jack Freeberg, big touchdown on that first drive. Brady McDonough making himself actioned here. Fakes it off there, looking deep. Awkward throw there. I think he was trying to find Dylan Hip on the corner, trying to get that first down and get the drive moving, but just met up there, read by number 4, Malek Barrett, in the vicinity there, and force McDonough to just throw it away. So 3rd and 2 coming up for the Wolves. 7 minutes and change remaining in the second quarter, this first half, and so far it's been all Desert Mountain, and I'm kind of surprised. I heard a lot of pre-talk. I heard a lot of chirpings that ALA-Gilbert North, they're a solid squad, and they put up points. Other than those 2 losses, they're averaging around 42, 43 points a game, and so far, nothing. So Brady McDonough gets a snap there, and Looks like it might be a timeout.
Let's see if it might be a delay of game.
Now that one's going to be a delay. It is going to be a delay of game. Number 2, write it down on the marker board, Parker. We're getting these calls down. So delay of game there. 3rd and short becomes 3rd and 7, and that's been something, something silent that's been causing effect on the Desert Mountains offense. It's 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, and the penalties, uncharacteristic penalties, can't get the snap off going. They get a little too antsy, they jump, false start, and it makes it 3rd and 7, and that's such a big difference, especially tonight. You're trying to fight every yard that they can. Other than those 2 huge plays, the Eagles, the defense has been stepping up. So Brady McDonough gets the snap there. He's looking deep, finds Journey Solomon, and just like that, he breaks it open, and the speed takes over. My goodness, add that to the tally. Journey Solomon, slam play, takes it to the house. 60-yard bomber. Desert Mountain leads 19-0.
What a great play by Solomon. We talked, too, just a few minutes ago as the fireworks go off again.
Homecoming magic.
That he was going to have to step up and be really wide receiver, too, for this team with Tapley out. He's, like we said, he's been consistent all year long. But Titan Slade was supposed to be in on that tackle. You see him kind of cut the edge.
Yep.
And it was just missed time.
Very on time.
Not being able to get that. And now you got 19-0 on the board right now for Desert Mountain in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was like a bit of a X cross routes there, and Titan Slade ended up in the middle of it. And as soon as you see Journey Solomon corral the ball, you just knew it was a touchdown because he was the only guy close to him who was supposed to be making the tackle there. And Journey Solomon, and there's one thing I'm always going to stress about this team is they have speed.
Yep.
They have speed. So they get the reception. There better not be any green grass because I guarantee you it's taking it to the house. They leave 20-0 here. All Desert Mountain. And, I've been giving the props, no Dylan Tapley, no problem. My goodness. But, props to Brady McDonough. He finds those big plays. 3 huge plays there, aside from the Santana Wilson run. That was practically on him. But 2 quick plays there, and it's the post routes. Just the middle of the play. Where's the linebackers? Where's the plays? Obviously you want to provide pressure as well, but where's the coverage at? Those plays, obviously those are man-on-man, and so it takes one person to cover the receiver. But, you gave up 2 huge plays. Zone coverage, I haven't seen any of that at all. I'm not sure what's going on with the Eagles, and 3 huge plays so far. They're giving it away to Desert Mountain today. They're not allowing Desert Mountain to fight those yards.
Yeah, I want to give it to Coach Hamilton, too, and this coaching staff. Something I wrote down before the Wolves coming in tonight's game, 7-0, like we talked about. Coming by, they should feel refreshed, ready to go for this game because they're arguably in the best division in the state.
Yep.
With Higley, with ALA-Gilbert North, with Horizon, and with Notre Dame Prep as well that we haven't even seen play yet. So for them to come in, 5 starters out, be prepared and ready to go, and up 20-0 in the first half is arguably the best start they probably could have asked for after the bye week, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like you mentioned, in a very competitive division. All the teams you just mentioned, Higley, Horizon, I know they're over 500. They're solid and they're poised to make the playoffs. Is the whole division in that position? Because I know Notre Dame Prep, you could really question them as a rebuilding year, but they're 4-3.
Yeah,
they're over 500. So questions are right. Is everyone legit in that region? And
everyone is legit. I'll say that right away. Everyone is legit. Higley, who we're going to see next week, is 6-1 on the year, and like you said, Notre Dame, they're 4-4.
Oh, okay.
But their 4 losses are Desert Edge, Brophy, Horizon, and Higley.
Oh, yeah. Top teams there,
Again, top teams, yeah. 60-42 was their loss against Higley.
As Connor White hands it off to Beardahl for a good gain of approximately 3 yards. And I think if right now, 7 minutes remaining in this first half, you use these 7 minutes and you got to get a drive back. You got to make it a game here. You can't be going into halftime 20-0 because after that, something that Desert Mountain that really shows that they're really powerful is that they don't skip a beat. The 15 minutes, it doesn't hurt him at all as Connor White holds it off there. It's just like you mentioned, not only is he a really good thrower, he's also a very good runner. 2 touchdowns, 100 and change yards with 20 carries, I believe, adding it on tonight as well. And every yard matters as he's going to get the chains moving here. And it takes one drive and really, all the eyes are on the top receivers, Titan Slade and Brandon Phelps. All the talk, breaking records, all the big receiver, and you had me calling you All-American before, and they've been quiet. They've been quiet.
Yeah, that target was Boston Morris in on the target there. But I just pulled up Gilbert North schedule through their first couple of the season so far. 49-13 win against North, 48-14 against Gilbert. That was a win as well. They lost to ALA Queen Creek, 49-28. Paradise Valley High School, they beat 56-0. Skyline High School, they beat 42-20. And Higley, they lost 49-29. And then they beat Cactus Shadows last week, 49-21. So the competition, you see the higher level teams, they weren't able to beat because I'm sure, like you're talking about tonight, as we get to play here.
As Connor White trying to break off to the edge there. A little of an awkward tackle there. No flags. Good to see. And it looks like it's going to be a loss of approximately 2 yards. But what were you saying?
Yeah, sorry for the long take. What I was going to say is going up against the tougher competition in this region, at least, we have a flag on the play, too, that just got tossed.
Uh-oh.
They have probably in those losses had Phelps and Titan Slade like just guarded very heavily, double teamed, everything.
Yeah.
So when you go up for tonight with Santana, with Journey Solomon playing too on the defensive side, I mean, doesn't matter defense. They came ready to play.
Yeah, and absolutely.
Don't know what the penalty's on though. Sorry.
We're gonna see what the penalty is. It's gonna be waived. No penalty.
I was about to say. I'm like,
yeah, a bit of a late. Honestly, the only flag I could have saw on that play was probably a face mask because of the awkward tackle. But you know, we're really far away. The play's on the opposite side.
Yeah.
No play. Weighted flag. It's gonna be a loss of 2 yards, and it's gonna be third and long here for the Eagles. Desperately needing a very solid drive, and I correct me if I'm wrong, Parker, but I'm not sure if there's been a drive that's been in the enemy territory as he's gonna pass it off to Beardall there. Great awareness there to just throw it off there, and Beardall able to get some couple yards. So I'm not sure if it's the first down or just short.
I think he's just gonna be short.
Yeah, it's fourth and short for the Eagles. No doubt they'll probably go for it here as they need to get something going here. But as I was trying to mention, has he played a snap in opposition territory yet?
Besides the fumble that they got around Desert Mountain's 40-yard line that they ended up intercepting.
You're right.
But on their own, no, because the time with the punt return that they were going to bring back, that got called back for holding. And then they threw a pick. So they have not really been by themselves, at least, in Desert Mountain's area.
They haven't, and they're going to go for it here indeed. He's going to hand it off on to Boston Morris, and he's able to get it there, just stretches out and get the rest himself. Gravity takes his place, and the drive continues here. Under 6 minutes here, and Eagles desperately trying to get on the board.
Yeah, the 6', 190-pound fullback, they kind of used him like that there. That's a big running back to take down. So, yeah, great play by Gilbert North to get those couple of yards and get the first down.
Yeah, plays like those is where you really miss Tony Cumberland. You know, how big he is, his physique. And, you know, you want to stop a big guy such as Boston Morris, you need him. And, unfortunately, he's not here today, and they're going to pay. And Jones looks it deep. It is going to be picked off yet again. I don't believe it is Santana Wilson. It's someone else. And he's going to be made up just across midfield. But my goodness, the third interception in this first half. Connor White having a first half to forget.
Yeah, that looks like
it's going to be. So Michael Shelbrick, need to write a note and make his jersey number noticeable on my papers because he's not on our paper.
We got to write that down. With him, too, he was the player, too, that came in off the edge and got that big tackle to bring up second down. It looks like he's been kind of used where Dylan Tapley would be. And with him, he's a little bit smaller. He's got more speed to him, clearly. He's able to get up with the best of them. He had to jump up high for that pick. But again, like you're saying, Connor White, this has not been his best first half. Very sloppy so far. And I think that goes to, again, not being able to go to Phelps and Slade and not be able to get his main targets the ball. Because like we said, they're a very pass-heavy offense.
Indeed. As Brady McDonough is going to get the snap ready here. You still have plenty of time here and just try to add more wound into the bandage. And he gets met up just as soon as he throws the ball. Target is to Dylan Hipp. Just tipped off there. I believe it was McKay Beardall making plays happen left and right. But more into what you say. Connor White, 7 interceptions heading into this game, and he's already almost halfway.
He's at 3.
He's up 3 in just a single half. If you're ALA-Gilbert North, you have to protect the ball. I feel like every time Connor White is trying to go deep and trying to find his number 1 and number 2 receiver, he's forcing it. You know, every time he throws the ball, and I see 3 Desert Mountain players in comparison to 1 Eagles player, and the math doesn't add up there. I think he's just trying to make his plays and just trying to make a huge play there. And unfortunately, 3 interceptions under his resume so far. As a big play there, it's going to be Cameron breaking up the middle, up the gap, quick gain there of 30 yards there. Great play there. None other than Cameron Terry, the replacement for both the starting running backs, and trying to get redemption from that fumble he caused earlier.
And I want to mention, too, ALA's offensive line is not small. They got Vaughn Brown, who's a junior, 6'4", 310 pounds. You got Ryan Guttermilch, who's 6'3" and 310 pounds as well. So they just got to get better protection, but I think that goes, again, to Desert Mountain's defense being well-prepared and ready to attack them at all means.
Yeah, and it's just props to Desert Mountain. They're not skipping a beat. Brady McDonough getting the snap ready in shotgun formation. He's going to hand it off again to Cameron Terry, but just read like a book there from the Eagles defense. At this point, you're deep into enemy territory. Still 4 minutes left in this first half. You're trying to milk as much time as you can and not let the Eagles get another snap on the field. Although at this point, I feel like if you're the Eagles, you want this first half to end and you want to minimize the damage caused, but go into that first half or go into halftime and just have a good talk. See what's going wrong. What do you see on the field? Mm-hmm. There's a couple throws, the interceptions mostly. Question marks around those interceptions. It wasn't because the DB had a better play and just made the play of the year. It's just he just throws it up there and just try to hope that Brandon Phelps or tight end Slade just gets the snag there. And the results has been interceptions. It's Santana Wilson in, McDonough looking deep, breaks off that first tackle, beats up the second, gets a good cutoff in the corner, looking to the sides, gets just taken out of bounds, short of the 7-yard line, probably just getting to the 5-yard line there. It's just marked off there. Can't really make it out there, but great play there from Brady McDonough.
Yeah, he's in the red zone for sure, bringing up second and short. Third and short, excuse me. This has been the most active we've seen Brady so far this season.
Yeah.
He's been really active on his feet when the offensive line breaks down. He's able to capitalize and make a play. That's not something we've really seen him do the first 7 weeks of the season.
Yep, as Brady McDonough gets a snap ready, motions both Lucas Blumley and Dylan Hibb. That play is always just in the record books. He just like to have the motion there. He's going to have it as a QB motion. Gets nothing there. Penalty flag on the field.
Yeah.
Might be a holding call.
I don't know. I don't even know if he made the first down there. It's kind of hard to tell. But
yeah, it's going to be coming back anyways, I think.
That was Bryce Herges.
Oh, it was Bryce Herges. Hard to make out the jersey number. It will be a holding call on Desert Mountain. Play's going back anyways.
That is Bryce Herges.
Yeah, Bryce Herges making this play there. Excuse me. Honestly, having a similar role like Taysom Hill from the Saints. Just gets the snap. He's a quarterback for backup, but he goes in and he just gets the ball and just runs it in. And he's going to remain in the game, I believe. I didn't see a substitution out there. So Bryce Herges remains in.
It's kind of difficult, too. I think they both have arm sleeves on.
Yeah, they're both identical, too. And, obviously the jersey numbers, the only difference is 8 and 12, I believe. Or 9.
2.
It's so hard to see. I need some glasses. But Herges gets a snap in there, trying to find, I believe, Journey Solomon. No, it looks like it's Lucas Blumley. Yep, Lucas Blumley attended receiving there. I'm not sure we should be worried there why Brady McDonough wasn't there. Bryce Herges, indeed going to be number 8 for tonight. But a bit of an awkward 2 plays there. I'm not sure why Brady McDonough wasn't in. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe we're just overthinking it.
Here, I asked Coach Hamilton post-game against Cactus Shadows about it because we did see a lot of Bryce. The coordinators for the team told us that we were going to see Bryce Herges because he's not eligible after missing the first 6 games of the season. So Coach Hamilton told me as you get the kickoff here.
The field goal looks good. Alex Weeks adds on to the tally. It's going to be 23-0, the Wolves.
What I was going to finish with very quickly, though, is Coach Hamilton told me that they were going to use everybody. They're not just going to sit somebody if they're healthy. They're going to play everyone they can. And with Brady, like we talked about the torn ACL, the sprained ankle, they were going to use him a little bit that game. So he's going to be the starting quarterback probably next year. So they might just want to get a couple of more reps in. But again, I think they just want to kind of use everyone, kind of confuse ALA because Herges, there's not a lot of tape on him in Desert Mountain. He's only been at Chaparral. So, yeah, I think that's just kind of how you can put it, is that they just want to use other people and probably throw ALA off their game and off their plan.
Yeah, good philosophy there. But going on, more what you say, trying to confuse with the art and more reps And, all these injuries, like the starters, like you mentioned, 5 starters out today. And not only are they using this to, obviously keep their undefeated season going and be defeating a very, very good squad in ALA-Gilbert North, but all these could potentially be reps for next season. You're trying to get who's want to be your starters next season, all the juniors, all the sophomores. Cameron Terry, I didn't really do too much on him. He's a junior. He's probably going to be taking over Max Sheffrin and Ryan McDonough. Although I'm not sure. I think Ryan McDonough's a junior as well. Although I could be wrong. So. But, you're getting all these guys, getting the reps in. And, so from what I'm seeing, if this is going to be the starting group for next season, I think Desert Mountain, they could be a force next year as well. Kickball, or the kickoff goes touchback. And with 3 minutes and 19 remaining in this first half, Eagles looking for a drive to get past midfield at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great start. This has been a really positive half. There's been a couple of penalties. I think at the end of the day, penalties just happen in high school football especially. So
it's bound to happen.
When it's over excessive like it was against Cactus and Sunrise Mountain, like that was pretty hard. And I think it was hard on Hamilton and the coaching staff too to see that. But here it's just been a couple of holdings, offside, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I really like it how you mentioned how it takes more accountability into Coach Hamilton as they get the handoff there to Beardall, just bulldozing his way, getting those hard yards. It wasn't Beardall, it's actually Boston Morris taking more of the running back reps. But as you were saying, as Coach Hamilton, he takes accountability of this team because what he puts out on the field is what he creates. So all those penalties that happen essentially falls under him, and there's nothing more embarrassing than having your team commit more than 25 penalties in a single game. That's not what you want. As Connor White going to hand it off once again, but it's just met up at the line of scrimmage. Hard to make up who it is. Looks like Lucas Bloomley, believe.
No, I don't think that was Hip.
We're going to see. It was 55. Colton Brodkin. First time saying his name today. Like I said, I apologize. It's really hard to see these jersey numbers. Trying to get these together. I'm like ALA Gilbert North right now. I'm just confused who's tackling me, who's just throwing the plays out there. Because as you mentioned, Coach Hamilton is throwing everyone out there. Everyone's getting reps today. Everyone who has their jersey on tonight is playing tonight. So Coach Hamilton using his philosophy for the greater good. And just like that, similar play, passed off to Boston Morris and just met up immediately. I believe that's Cassius Atherton. It was Cassius Atherton making the big play there. And just like that, after that good running play.
Another 4th and out.
From Boston Morris and 2 negative plays and forced a punt there. You can't go for it. And just obviously just not make yourself look good if you're the coaching staff. And just not the way you want to start off here.
What I've noticed, too, the size difference roster-wise between Desert Mountain and ALA, there's not a ton of guys for ALA Gilbert North. Very small roster. You look at Desert Mountain sideline, it's packed with kids. As we get a kind of a fumble by Phelps.
We do have a fumble. He still gets the punt off indeed, and he's going to get a lucky bounce. He's going to get up going deeper and deeper. And add that to the positive plays. You turn something negative into a positive. And just it kind of summarizes this first half for ALA.
Yeah, it's just been a rough one. I think that might go towards the size. I think, they play the starters, and starters, there's not a lot of bench guys. They might not need them. But you look at kind of what we've been talking about and emphasizing with Coach Hamilton's team, he's throwing everybody out there. With 5 starters out, you got to see what works, and you got to see what just stays. And that's what they've been able to do with Desert Mountain's offense and defense, not so much with ALA. So, I mean, it's been a rough half for Gilbert North for sure. So, but again, that was another 4th and out on their offense, so hopefully they can get something going in the second half.
So may I be as bold as, just comment that this is probably the best we've seen Desert Mountain play in this first half? Just like that, just breaking the middle and the speed, taking over. I believe Journey Solomon just beating them out in the middle. You just see it. It's man-on-man coverage. Brady McDonough is finding his favorite receiver tonight. And Journey Solomon, and I am surprised he didn't just take it to the ouster. My goodness.
I mean, these slant routes are killing Gilbert North. You got Journey kind of in a slot section. He's going as the play's about to get off. But yeah, unbelievable play by him again coming up clutch.
Yeah, Cameron gets motion onto the right side. Ooh. Brady keeps you there, and he gets pretty hip. Gets a big hit in the back. It looks okay. As it looks like it's going to be Bryce Hurge. Hurge is still in the game. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like Brady McDonough's out there. It's going to be Bryce Hurge.
It's Hurges right now.
Hurges is in. The big righty. Just a bit short there. He had, honestly, the first down guaranteed there. I think that was Jack Freeberg, tended receiver, and nothing there. And questions arise. Hopefully Brady McDonough's okay. As Bryce Hurges is in. Journey Solomon going to get a quick rep. So it looks like a penalty marker's on the floor. We're going to see what this penalty marker comes in. And because there's no way you already bench your starters. You're only up 23-0. It's barely the first half. So we'll see what happens here. Brady has the pink wristband. So you can obviously tell the difference there, and he's currently out.
I think, again, it just goes back to they just want to play everybody.
Probably play everybody, see how it goes. As you know, just you mentioned, when Brady McDonough didn't start those 2 drives in last week's game, the 2 drives that Bryce Hurges was here, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he rushed one in and passed one in. So, I mean, he's a very dual-threat quarterback as well. Has, I think, a little bit of interest from University of Nevada. Yeah, he is another guy that this is, again, just what the future of Desert Mountain football next year is going to look like.
Yeah, and he's going to make himself a really huge name. And every time I see him play, it just screams Taysom Hill. So Hurges looking his options. It's going to be met up there. He ends up losing the ball there, but looks like it's going to be recovered there by Desert Mountain. Uncharacteristic there from Hurges. I'm not sure if unexpected hit there. Oh, it looks like it's going to be recovered by the Eagles.
I don't know about that.
Recovered by the Eagles, and then looks like they're going to lose points there. Going to result them 3 points. 13 seconds left in this first half. Did he throw it back there by accident or fumble?
He threw it back intentionally. I definitely saw it. He was going down. He went, as he was being kind of tossed, he just passed the ball backwards. And in that scenario, just go down. You got 13 seconds left in the half. You got nothing to lose. You're up 23-0 right now.
Yeah.
If ALA is going to score, you just gave him 13 seconds to do so. So just an unfortunate play right there. And, that just gives Gilbert North the ball and the second turnover for the Wolves on offense in the first half.
Yeah, cost us 3 points because you're already in field goal range. Just a quick running play. You call the timeout, although they don't have timeouts.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you talked about Connor White having 3 interceptions. You got 2 fumbles for Desert Mountain. So it's almost kind of the same as it looks like we're going to go to halftime.
So Connor White takes the knee. It's going to end that first half. All Desert Mountain here. They lead 23-0. We're going to be heading into the halftime. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you for the second half.
All right, everyone, let's take a look at some of the top plays from Week 6 of the NFL season.
Goff looking deep, wants it all. Jamison Williams looking for the ball. Got it! Touchdown! From the 7. Wilson going down the sideline for Garrett Wilson. Makes the adjustment and the grab. 3rd and 7. Blitz coming. Walker has it blocked. Lofting far sideline. Cooper. Oh, what a catch! Amari Cooper. What's going on here today? A little matchup.
Fake to Hubbard. And it's outside on 1st and 10. Oh, look at him hurdle. What a play by Trumbull, who got a touchdown last week. And play to a 3rd and 6. He's 12 of 16. Lamb the block. Oh, he's got him. He's got Hill. And they've got a touchdown. Cornell, 1st and 10. Miami's ball. Mostert getting a block from Hill. He explodes and spins and drives. There he goes.
Oh, Falcons get the football back. A flag is down. Free play for Ritter. Going to take a shot for London. And London fighting for it. He's got it.
Pressure coming here. And the ball is out. It's still free. And the Vikings pick it up. Down the sideline. Goes Jordan Hicks. And Hicks is in for the scoop and score.
Position Kevin Stefanski wished to be in.
Not at all. Here's Walker. He has some time. Going to walk it up. Cooper's wide open. He's got it. Makes the move. Cooper. Foot race. and he's taken down at the 25. Up top to Amari Cooper.
6. Hurts facing a 4-man rush over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Adams. Adams on the run. Breaking tackles. Tossed down inside the 10. We welcome those of you who are watching Arizona and the Rams on first down into the end zone. Breece Hall.
Ritter on the slant, intercepted!
2nd and 9. Smith in the pocket, hangs in there, throws it. Picked off! Lunging interception, Taylor grip. Brought down in Seattle territory.
With Carr. Time.
Touchdown Saints! Rashid Shaheed.
Back is Hubbard. Floating the block. In the end zone. Touchdown, Thielen.
Hello everyone, this is Kyle Cooper with Varsity Sports, and here are your Week 7 NFL picks. Starting off Thursday night, we have Jacksonville Jaguars at New Orleans Saints. The Jacksonville Jaguars have generated the most turnovers and most points off turnovers in the NFL. The Saints offense hasn't really clicked yet, despite having top talent on the team with Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Rashid Shaheed. Jacksonville has looked okay on offense, not as good as last season. Trevor Lawrence is a game-time decision in this game. If he plays, I think the Jaguars will scrape out the win, but if he doesn't, the Saints will win. Anyways, I do have the Saints winning this game 21-14 over the Jaguars, despite not knowing if Trevor Lawrence will play or not. In the second game, we have the Detroit Lions at Baltimore. The Ravens are the favorite to win this matchup. Lamar Jackson found his receivers last week, including Zay Flowers with his first NFL touchdown, but they have been very inconsistent. Can they keep it up in this one? The offense hasn't been high-flying and leaves a lot to be desired, especially that running game. The Lions will be without their bell cow running back David Montgomery. Jamar Gibbs could play for the Lions. The Lions are riding off the wave they had last year and are 5-1 on the season. They'll have to rely on their defense and wide receivers to pull out the win in this one without their running back. I have the Lions scraping out a win 14-10. Then we have the Las Vegas Raiders at Chicago. The Bears will be without their star quarterback Justin Fields this week, and without one more win on the season. I think the Raiders will take the win here over the Chicago Bears. The Bears have been bad on both sides of the ball all season long. Despite not knowing who will start at quarterback for the Raiders, they will win 28-14 over the Bears. The Cleveland Browns will be at Indianapolis as they take on the Colts. The Browns could have the best defense in the NFL after they took down one of the best teams in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers, last week. The Colts quarterback Gardner Minshew had 4 turnovers last week, and they will face a very tough defense in the Cleveland Browns. And if PJ Walker starts a quarterback for the Browns, this could be a more difficult win to pull out, but I think they will pull it out 17-16 over the Colts. The Buffalo Bills will be at the New England Patriots, and the Bills have had a really shaky season, really inconsistent, and they have not been a convincing team all year. They almost lost one of the worst teams in the league last week to the New York Giants, and they lost against Jacksonville Jaguars. Coach Sean McDermott, though, is 5-1 against Bill Belichick. The Patriots are super banged up with injuries and definitely less talented. I think Buffalo will easily win this game 36-13. The Washington Commanders will be at New York and will be taking on the New York Giants. As I talked about with the Buffalo Bills, the Giants had one of their most promising games of the season for them. They almost took down one of the top teams in the NFL. The Commanders have given up an NFL high 34 sacks, but the Giants are right behind them with 33, and New York will be looking to add to that sack total. I think it'll be a defensive battle, an ugly game, but Sam Howell will somehow get it done and they'll pull out a win 19-13 over the Giants. The Atlanta Falcons will be at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both teams have similar records, with Atlanta being at 3-3 and Tampa Bay at 3-2. Atlanta is ranked 4th best in passing yards allowed. They've looked pretty solid on defense this year. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers have kind of cooled down after their really hot start to the season. The Buccaneers will look to put a stop against Bijan Robinson, and I think they can do that. But can they control the other offensive threats that the Falcons possess? Desmond Ridder will continue to throw the ball well. He's picked it up in the last few games, and they will find a way to win 24-17 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be at the Los Angeles Rams. Both have defensive stars on their team with TJ Watt and Aaron Donald, but Rams have the better offense and have Cooper Kupp back, who looks to be back in top form this season. The Steelers have been averaging just 12.6 points per game on offense, and that will not be enough to get it done against the LA Rams. I have the LA Rams taking this one 31-13. The Green Bay Packers will be at the Denver Broncos. Jordan Love has looked worse actually of late, throwing 6 interceptions in the past 3 games. But no one has looked worse than the Broncos this season on both sides of the ball. The Broncos rank last in scoring defense and total defense, and I think the Packers have enough offense to overcome the Broncos. It could
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sebastian Mundaka, and I am joined here with my partner in crime on my right side, Parker Garage. And my goodness, what a game has been so far for Desert Mountain. They lead 23-0. I tweeted on my Twitter that ALA-Gilbert North, their offense looked non-existent. Connor White with 3 interceptions, uncharacteristic interceptions. You know, the defense, such a huge round. I'm wondering what Coach Hamilton talked in that halftime to just get the momentum going. And if you're on the other side, you know, Connor White just need to get back into this game. They've shown signs, but it's been all Desert Mountain.
Yeah, they have shown signs. You're 100% right on that. I'm really curious to see how they're going to come out with Randy Reisdorf is ALA's head coach. I'm sure the coaching staff trying to hype him up, get him a little bit, I think, calm, too. You got to realize this is one of their toughest teams they've played. I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but playing Higley and losing and playing ALA Queen Creek, those are 2 really tough teams. This is another tough task for them after a lot of dominant wins. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with them. But for the Desert Mountain side, I think Coach Hamilton has just got to be like, let's just keep doing the same. Just keep playing smart football. Just keep calm. Don't get too out of it. You had the unsportsmanlike after Santana got the big rushing touchdown. But really, outside of that, it hasn't been crazy. You know, they haven't really been immature. They've been playing really solid football for one of the first times. That was probably the cleanest first half they've had all year.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Reisdorf obviously trying to get his team together, trying to get them composed, trying to get them just back into this game. And as I mentioned earlier, all it takes is one play, and obviously the star receivers, Tyson Slade and Brandon Phelps, they've been non-existent. 1 reception, I believe, combined from both players in tonight's game. And props gotta go to Santana Wilson.
And you talk about it could only take 1 play. They had that shot with the fumble they got in the first quarter. That didn't really lead to anything. They got the fumble too with 13 seconds left in the half. Of course, they just took the knee, and it was just and then the half ended. So, you got 24 minutes of football. You got a 23-point deficit for ALA. We saw, I'm not going to compare it to them, but we saw Colorado, they were up at halftime last week.
Yep.
And then they ended up losing. Not saying that's going to happen here, but I mean, let's just see what both of these teams can do.
Absolutely. As Alex gets the kickoff ready, we're going to have Cody Thorley with the ball. Excuse me, it's not Cody. It's going to be Garrett Baker with the ball. Able to get a good play there off the kickoff and get some good yards here. And since we're in Arizona, why is it not relevant to mention that the D-backs, they do lead 6-5 in the bottom or the top of the 9th, 3 more outs, and they tie this series. It's going to be such an intense one heading into over there in Chase Field in downtown Phoenix, which we're here in Scottsdale, so we're nowhere near the area.
We're nowhere near the area.
But I wouldn't doubt that I'm going to hear the roars coming up if they're able to secure on this victory.
Hey, man, Chase Field has been buzzing these last couple of days.
They have.
I mean, to see the city of Phoenix. I talked to you kind of pregame. We're talking about the Diamondbacks, too. It's very cool to see the young, new corp stars that are on these pro teams. And you're seeing it now with the next generation of Arizona stars with football here. There's a lot of talent coming out of the state.
Yeah, and it's just awesome seeing Arizona being put on the map there. That's the first play there. It's going to be incomplete. Bit of a short there from Connor White, excuse me. Keep on saying Cody Thorley, trying to keep the connection. Connor, get a little bit.
Connor White.
It is Connor White.
Connor White.
Short pass on that play, incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up. And I feel like that's just so empathetic. And just a bit earlier when we see Desert Mountain, Brady McDonough, not on the field on the last 2 drives. It was Bryce Herges. So it's going to be cool to see what happens. It's going to be interesting, in fact, as well as refs getting a little mic attention here. Looks like an injury player. We're going to have a quick substitution here. We're going to have number 15, Hayden Carroll, coming in.
And he's going to come out,
He's going to come out as well.
So I found out this rule. Football players got to have their knees covered. Some of these guys, if it's above their knee, they get tossed just for the play.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that might have been it. Now you're bringing in another player, number 85, who is not on our roster. I do not know who that is. I'm sorry, but I think that is the rule there, and that's why he got taken off.
Yeah, and that's one of the big plays here as White, looking deep, had an open receiver in Tyson Slade, and I don't believe Tyson Slade has gotten his first reception tonight.
I don't know about that officially, but he has not had the games we've seen statistically this season.
Absolutely.
He had a lot of wide open territory there to make that first down, but again, just mistimed pass, and that brings up 3rd down and long for the Eagles.
Yeah, and seeing the game here and seeing Connor White, just every time he has that time in the pocket, you expect good things, especially with the receivers that he has. But just you just got to see right now where like those times, you got to be scared of those. It's going to be an interception or not, because Desert Mountain and their defense is all over the place. They're going to have a penalty flag coming up. Might be delay a game. Indeed, it's going to be a delayed play called in by the ref.
And we talked a little bit earlier in the first half about the size of ALA's offensive line. I just noticed number 54 on the field, Ryan Marriott. He's a 6'5", 270-pound offensive tackle. I mean, what I was going to reference is he's thrown 3 picks. So for him to not have this protection with so much size is just very unfortunate.
Time gets ready in there. He ends up tossing it to number 0, Isaac Amasi. He gets a good reception there. Makes it 4th and manageable. Perhaps go for it here.
Yeah, Isaac Massey on the reception. A freshman, keep in mind, too. He's got a lot of years left of this football program, but I think that might have been his first reception on the night as well.
Yeah, I believe so, too. Probably like the time to see him out there. Maybe Coach Reisdorf trying to make some mixed matches here and try to catch Desert Mountain by surprise. And trying to get his team to rally, whether it's his main starting team or it's different people, as White gets immediately pressured out, and he's going to hand it off there to Boston Morris.
Ooh, I don't know if he's going to get that.
And he ends up dropping in. It could be a fumble. It looks like it will be a fumble recovered by Desert Mountain. Or, excuse me, not a fumble, a turnover on downs.
So for plays like that, I feel like they got to at least bring out the measuring tape. See where the ref see where the ref thought he landed, and then bring it out. Because, again, he landed past the first down marker, so you never really know. But with that, that's going to bring up first down for the Wolves, and it looks like Brady McDonough is back in the game.
All right, Brady McDonough is indeed probably just resting out the rest of the second or the first half. Starters back in. They still leave comfortably 23-0 here. As he's going to get ready to snap there. He gets the ball, hands it off to Cameron Terry, who's been very efficient tonight. He's been very efficient. Aside from the fumble that he had, very solid. And ever since he fumbled, he's been protecting that ball very well.
Yeah, absolutely. The junior running back has had a lot of weight on his shoulders, with Max Scheffrin and Ryan McDonough both going down. So you see that, you're like, okay, there's a lot of expectations on me to be able to do that. So for him to come in, be ready to go with Cactus Shouters. He had a great game there. And then coming in tonight and just being really consistent with the ball when he's given the opportunity. I mean, I just think it shows signs of a great future for Desert Mountain.
Brady McDonough setting in motion his receiver, and then the penalty.
Is that going to be on hip?
It will be on hip, it looks like. False start, adding it on, just like that. 2 quick penalties on both sides. And get the team going. Brady McDonough. A little bit antsy there from hip. Not the penalty you exactly want to get.
Yeah, he kind of moved a little bit and then restarted and then got up again and just about moved. So I guess that's called false start.
False start. Well, it's just more penalties added. And, over the season as we have, McDonough hands it off to Terry again. Get a little shuffling move here, and he gets some pretty solid yardage there. Probably a gain of 8 yards. And he makes it 3rd and manageable coming up. So makes it possible in the running game. Pretty efficient so far. Without Max Scheffrin, without Ryan McDonough, Cameron Terry, the only available running back aside from the man himself, Brady McDonough, who could use his feet as legs as well, or use his feet as a weapon and make himself a dual threat. And he's been showing this season as he's going to get ready to snap here. Cameron Terry gets set in motion to the right side. Brady almost looked at it, fakes it off there, and gets the yardage himself, just like what I mentioned. Uses his legs as a weapon, and is able to get the first down and move the drive.
He is a quick quarterback when he is fully healthy, and we've seen that tonight a lot. He dropped back a bit, saw the pressure, and I think he saw the gaping hole that the offensive lineman, and he was able to capitalize on that and get the first down.
Get the first down indeed. Drive keeps on moving. a good, healthy drive coming up here. 8 minutes and 30 seconds remains in this third quarter. Ryan McDonough gets the snap ready. He gets the ball. Corrales looking deep for his options. So throwing it, he finds Dylan's hip, and great catch from Dylan Hip.
That's going to be a great catch by Dylan Hip there. Like we talked about, he's been a little bit quiet on the offensive side of the ball this season with only 1 touchdown. But yeah, unbelievable job by Hip to get open with the defensive back on him and get the first down.
Gets the first down indeed. Drive keeps on moving. Getting it going with the team. Brady McDonough, again, the team in motion, gets ready for the snap, corrals it. Looks into Jack Freebert's way. Jack catches it off, finds the sideline, and gets a good yardage, 5-6 yards there. And gets pulled out of bounds there from number 12, Tyden Slade, who's been making more of an impact defensively than offensively.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. He hasn't really had, I don't even know if he's had a reception on tonight, but, I mean, he's been really solid for Gilbert North on the defensive side of the ball, like you said.
Indeed. So, as you have a couple of the fans behind us, you got notes that the D-backs managed the comeback. Tied up series in the NLCS.
Hey, man, why not the World Series now?
Brady McDonough gets the snap, trying to find, I think that was Journey Solomon. Not a good throw there from Brady.
Yeah, he was just not placed in the right area there. I think that was the intended play, but just unfortunate there that he wasn't able to make that catch.
Oh, no, it was Journey Solomon. These jerseys numbers always confuse me here at Desert Mountain. I'll put in a complaint to the athletic director. Hey, change the jersey number. Make it easier for the broadcasters. Maybe make it. The jersey looks pretty cool, but maybe the black with the white colors, make it seeable. The maroon that they have on looks pretty nice. Nonetheless, Brady McDonough gets the snap going. It's going to be 3rd and long here for the Wolves. He gets the snap ready. He looks deep. He finds it. Oh, but ends up getting batted and intercepted. And he's going to be taken off by number 8, Cody Thorley. And he's going to take it to the house. He has no space. The 10. Only one close to him was number 7, Brody Olson. And he wasn't able to make it. And just like that, ALA-Gilbert North get their first points. Props from a pick 6 of Cody Thorley.
And he just backflipped on the sideline. Did the offense stop?
I'm not sure.
It seemed like everyone was confused for a second, and Thorley was able to go and just get the green light and go. But
I think it was a bit of a misplay there from I believe it was Dylan Hip.
Yeah,
he looked like he had the out route. Who's just about to turn around, and Brady just throws it, but I think it got batted down. I could have been mistaken. It's fairly hard to see from over here, but
yeah, that's just unfortunate for McDonough. He's played really solid this game, really consistent too with his passes. But again, tip play. Now, but we talked about like with ALA, one play can change it all. That might have been it for them.
Yeah, indeed, and it gets something going because Brady McDonough was driving that drive all the way down, and they were about to reach the red zone. And the pick 6, it gives ALA-Gilbert North life, and they got to get points somehow. They get it here, and feel the extra point is good, and just like that, 23-7.
Bryce Herges, I'm seeing looking like he's warming up on the sideline right now. Don't know if they're going to throw McDonough back in. They might try a little bit of Herges again. But, yeah, just an unfortunate call.
Yeah.
I think it was just an unfortunate play call, a little bit of miscommunication. And, yeah, like now we got 23-7 on the board in the third quarter.
Yeah, and it's something that ALA-Gilbert North, if they want to get back into this game, this is what they need to do. They need to pressure the quarterback. Just like that, the play that it wasn't fully constructed. There were some misshapes around that play, and pressure was arising. The pocket was breaking down, and when the pocket breaks down, especially with Brady McDonough, what I've noticed these first 6 weeks is he doesn't make the good choices. He just throws it out there, and he just helps his receivers to go out there. And, obviously full confidence onto his teammates because, usually right now he would have Dylan Tapley. Mm-hmm. You have Dylan Hip. Both have good sizable. They're very tall, and they're able to play that one-on-one against any corners that's on them, any DBs. And they're able to make great plays. Just right there, I'm not sure what happened. Probably, like you said, we'll probably never know. But Cody Thorley in the great place at the great time, and he uses his own speed to break a couple tackles, and he takes it to the house.
An emphasis here really quick. Will Saba and Santana Wilson are the kick returners now in the backfield for Desert Mountain as we kick off here.
Santana Wilson gets the ball just outside the touchback, and he's able to break so much. Got a got the whole play cut off there for one of the fans, so I couldn't really see much. But Santana Wilson gets the ball. I thought it was going to be a touchback there. I think
it looked like his left foot touched.
Yeah, it might have been. I'm kind of unclear. I'm lost the words. I'm not sure why the referee didn't call it there. Just guys wanted to let it go there. But, hey, Desert Mountain, they don't get good field position that they should. And we're going to see what happens here. And just like you mentioned, Hergis is in. Hergis is in QB.
They have a lot of confidence in him. You know, I think the whole team is just like, this kid's very poised. He knows what to do. I think also, too, he had 6 weeks of pretty much studying. He's fully healthy, ready to go. So like I talked about in the first half, I think they're just going to use him when they feel like they need to. And, you know, Brady was just unable to not get that play going. So, I mean, now put in Hergis and let's see what they can do.
The good part about being in a situation, if you're Desert Mountain, the pick six, it hurts. It hurts the morale's team. You know, you begin to question yourself, like, was that the correct play? What should I do? And you begin to, like, really bum yourself out. And from there, you set the position here. Hergis passes it off to Jack Freeberg. He breaks a good tackle. He gets a good saddling there, gets a good action, and able to make 2 yards into 6 yards. So great play from Hergis to Jack Freeberg. But what I was trying to get there is, if you're Desert Mountain, you're still in a very good position. You're up 23-7. That's still multiple scores, and you're already milked more than half of this first, or about to reach half of this third quarter. At this point, it's more into Gilbert North's time management. They need to get you out so your offense goes back in and scores those points. But at the end of the day, it's been the defense who scored the points, not the offense. So whether the defense could get all 23 points back,
you never know.
You never know. As Hergis gets the snap ready, he's going to hand it off there. I believe that's Cameron Terry. It would get the first down and a bit more and continue the drive here. And that's essential. And that's exactly what you're looking for if you're Coach Hamilton. At this point, you just try to run the ball. Just try to run it in the zone, and every 3 plays, you make the first down, and that's the best way you're going to use it. This drive, you can use it into your what's the word? Into your favor and your advantage. I lost the word there. I'm not sure why. Into your advantage, and with every 3 plays that you're able to get on a single first down, it just kills the clock. It's a minute and change that you could kill, and as soon as you get to that fourth quarter, the pressure starts to rise into ALA-Gilbert North. Hergis gets the snaps. High throw there. Trying to find one of his receivers there. Can't really make out who it is over there. The ball was a bit too high, just over. And it's those balls that get scary because the ball, just because it's high, they try to corral the ball, and the ball tips up. And if there's any DB close by, it's just prime ball just to get picked off.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you said happened in the last drive with Desert Mountain getting picked off. But so, I mean, I think Hergis just got to feel a little bit more calm in the pocket, be able to kind of make a play. If he needs to get on his feet, he's going to get on his feet. But, yeah, Hergis is going to line up here with the running back to his left. He's going to get it and toss off. It looks like Cameron Terry on the side, too, as he gets taken down to bring up third down. This Gilbert defense, Sebastian, they've come a little bit alive right now.
Indeed, yeah. Coming alive. Alive indeed, trying to get something going, and at this point, I mean, Desert Mountain, I think they're kind of beating themselves in this game. You know, that interception, that pick six. At this point, they're just trying to get themselves back into this game. But you got to use time into your advantage here. You got to use it for you. It's third and long here. A good running play here as well. Cameron Terry, he's shown that he's able to get those hard-earned yardage. You just need a good blockage in front of him, and he's able to get the first down here. I smell confident that the Wolves are able to corral it here. As it won't be a run, it's going to be Hergis looking for the pass. Finds it deep in there, and he's able to connect into one of his favorite receivers. I think that's Lucas Blumley.
I think he did get it with the extension of the arm. It looks like the chains are going to move.
It looks like it is. He's asking for a quick substitution. We'll be able to get the jersey number here for this receiver.
Yeah, Hergis. Again, he just seemed really composed and ready. And
it was indeed Lucas Bloom.
Yeah, it wasn't. I saw that, and I believe Saba came back onto the field.
So Will Saba back into the field.
I don't know for sure. I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Don't quote you. Maybe if you're Hergis here, you try to find that slant routes that's just been destroying ALA-Gilbert North. You know, those big plays here as he had Jack Freeberg in motion. He has the option, does go that way as well. As Freeberg able to get a good off there, breaks one tackle, gets a good stiff arm there, and he able to make nothing into something. Good yards there of 9.
Yeah, great job by Freeburg to really extend that play and keep it a little bit more downfield. I think that's something you emphasized. Use that slant route. That's something that's not really ALA's been able to cover with I think two of the big plays, or at least one of the touchdowns, two at least, that was the slant route going to the house. So.
I think both of them were, because if you think about it, the first drive, Jack Freeburg opened right in the middle of the thing. Mm-hmm. It could have been a slant or a post, but Journey Solomon, that was an easy slant because he used the speed and just out-duked the rest of the LA Eagles team.
For sure.
Turgis sets in motion Brody Olsen. He gets a snap, hands it off to Cameron Terry, and he just gets met up immediately in the backfield and loses a couple yards. I think 3-4 yards to lose there.
Yeah, that was Malik Barrett in on that tackler right there. ALA just read it perfect and was able, to bring it up a little bit more down, a little bit more backwards for Desert Mountain. You got 2:40 left in the third quarter. It's been a fast-paced third quarter, fast-paced game too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, third down already with Herges staying in there. I got to hand it to the kid. He's been really good under this type of pressure.
Yeah, honestly, he looks like he's been playing since last week. And last week, they were on a bye week. So Herges looking deep. Finds a man open, but just almost picked off there by McCabe Beardall. What would have been if that was an interception taken to that?
Yeah, you never know. But Freeburg had hands on it, kind of let loose, and
just like that.
Looks like it's going to be fourth down, and the punt team's going to come out.
Yeah, despite the result, it is a punt. You don't get nothing going. You milk 4 minutes in the clock. And if math is in my favor, of course, I'm not too sharp. If you average around 4 minutes each drive, this game's going to end with Desert Mountain winning despite the results. But
yeah, we're not the biggest math guys here. If you haven't noticed, last game Steven was unable to do a little bit of easy math on the broadcast too, and I am also, and I am not a math guy. So, yeah, not math guys here. If you want to do that, this is not the broadcast for you. As Des Mountain punts it off inside their own inside ALA's 10.
Wow, what a punt!
Unbelievable.
Great punt from his own 30-yard line and all the way to the 5, maybe even closer there. It's number 28 for Desert Mountain, Tyler Stanford, making a heck of a punt there, dude. Wow, just amazing punt there. Just keeps adding it to its favor there. Great play there from Tyler. Number 28 for the team.
It is number 28. It looks like 26.
Like I said, it's really hard to see the jersey numbers from this team.
We got to stop complaining about these jerseys. We just got to live with it. We've been living with it all year.
I'm trying to get the accurate facts out there, but the eyesight, I'm not the greatest person out there. I'm probably going to need glasses in 10 years from now. So, despite that, great punt there from Tyler Stanford. Gets prime position for the Desert Mountains defense to perhaps get a safety here and stop this momentum going. But 7 points has been allowed from the Wolves defense, or the offense, should I say, because the defense was even out when the 7 points was there. 7 points from ALA-Gilbert North was just the defense. So now the question goes here, what can the offense do? What can Connor White do? And one thing that he really needs to do is protect the ball.
I think it's also to get Brandon Phelps involved. There's a lot of hype, not even just in this game, but around the state. You talked about all-time leader in receiving, receptions, and touchdowns, I think, on the state.
Yeah.
So the U of A commit, he's been kind of silent. That's also, I think, to emphasize how incredible Santana Wilson has been playing. But he's got to get all of his guys involved to be able to get this win.
Yeah, indeed. As White fumbles the ball there, just ain't able to corral it there, and the struggles continue for the offense here. It's just not the way you want to do it, especially when your defense goes out there and gets 7 points for you. That's, obviously when your defense scores more points than your offense, it's not what you want.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough, too. I think they're just in uncharted territory.
Yeah.
They're used to putting up points, and with the defense, them being shut out, one.
Yep.
And then also, I think there's a different quarterback in. I could be wrong.
It looks like it might be the play. I think that looks like number 19.
No, that's number 13.
Is it number 13? Because Bryson Landon is their backup quarterback.
I believe that is Bryson Landon.
So Bryson Landon goes in for Connor White. Not sure if it's sufficient. He throws a deep ball, trying to find Phelps in that deep route, but all over him was none of that Santana Wilson.
Yeah, we apologize for the first play miscommunication on the quarterback side, but they have brought in their backup quarterback, Bryson Landon, the 5'10", 165-pound junior quarterback. He's their backup. I think that could just be a result of Connor White with the 3 interceptions, 0 points in the first half. They want to try something new, kind of like what we've talked about with Bryce Herges and Desert Mountain. But I mean, this is, again, a very scary play because if Phelps steps out of bounds, it's a safety and 2 points on the board.
Yeah.
So you can't have a bad snap here. You absolutely can't.
He can't, and he goes up in the play there, and almost a block punt there. It's a high line drive punt, but Jack Freeberg gets the ball there. A little bit of a scary. That's never what you want there of your special teams coach there.
Nope.
You want your players to always run away because you muffle the ball there. There's only Eagle players in that vicinity. So fumble, they pick it up, and all of a sudden, 14-23, and it's a ball game. But just like that, other than that pick six, the defense stays calm, they stay positioned, and they get good position here. And from here, honestly, it could be the do or die for ALA-Gilbert North.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to how they just came prepared on defense. I think just with Dylan Hipp, with Cash Atherton, with Journey Solomon, with a lot of guys in the trenches too, they've just been able to contain this team. Santana Wilson's been a big part, probably the player of the game in my opinion. But, you know, he's just been – this whole team's just been lights out, and it looks like we have Brady back in.
Yeah, it seems like Coach Hamilton's probably playing every other drive, trying out with different quarterback schemes, which could be something interesting as Cameron Terry gets a great tackle or gets off a great tackle and able to get 10 yards there, adds out to his total. He's having a great day today.
Cameron Terry, it was funny. When we were about to start our broadcast against Cactus Shadows, the coordinators had to walk through in the press box. They walked through and went up the ladder, but they said to us before the game, Cameron Terry's going to be the player of the game.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, they had a lot of confidence in him because Sheffrin and Ryan McDonough were both out. But tonight, he's really stepped up like we talked about with all those expectations of not being able to have running back 1 and 2. He comes in kind of like a Devin Achan.
Oh, yeah.
With a lot of like Raheem Mostert being out, guys like that, he's just been able to come in and do the work. But yeah, big game, like he said, from Cameron Terry so far.
Yeah, indeed. And like really this game itself is he gets yet another
I think it's just
carry,
during the clock because we're going to get the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, it's going to be the end of the third quarter there. Don't go anywhere. We're approaching the last quarter. We'll see you after this break.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Webster and I'm a senior at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. This semester, I will be joining Varsity Sports Show as a social media manager. I'm excited to promote and make engaging and informative content this semester.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sebastian Mundaka. I am joined here with Parker Garash. My goodness, what a game it's been so far. Third quarter, surprisingly, the only team to score was ALA-Gilbert North, and it wasn't even their offense. There was their defense here as we have a muff punt or a muff ball here. I wonder who got in possession there. Everyone's pointing into their side, and it looks like Desert Mountain might retain. Nope, it's going to be ALA-Gilbert North's ball. What a play to start off that first. To start off the fourth quarter. Excuse me. Wow.
It hasn't even been penalties this game. It's been muffed fumbles.
Yeah.
And muffed snaps. So, I mean, I'm sure Coach Hamilton is not pleased. But again, he didn't use any timeouts. He used 2 in the first quarter and then his last one in the second in the first half. So the fact, no penalties, it seems he's very content and calm with the team right now. But again, that's what the third turnover I think they have in the game, fourth turnover. So just unfortunate play again by the Wolves.
And luckily, I mean, Coach Hamilton, like you said, very composed because his defense has been just just turning down Titan Slade and Brandon Phelps. The math, if I remember just by memory alone, 2 receptions for like probably 16 yards, and that was just a big slant play that Brandon Phelps had over Santana Wilson. It's going to be Boston Morris. We've been really talking a lot about Brandon Phelps and Titan Slade, but Boston Morris, he's been the one making the plays today.
Yeah, Morris, he's been really solid throughout this game. You know, he's come in, and I think with all the attention on Phelps and Slade, he came into tonight's game 18 receptions on the year for 268 yards with a touchdown. So him being able to do that, make those quick plays, I was watching really intensely Santana and Brandon. Brandon beat him off the loop immediately, but again, Morris just comes up, gets the play, and that's another first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, and I think that's like kind of the game plan what Santana Wilson has been approaching this game. He wants to force Brandon Phelps inside because anything outside, if he gets beat, he's the guy responsible for covering the receiver.
Exactly.
And like when it comes to ALA-Gilbert North, I think one play is all it takes. You know, when you watch the films, Brandon Phelps, all his records, accolades, it needs one play. And if you're Desert Mountain here, you want to force multiple plays. You want the time to go through. You want them to waste as much time as you can. And despite them even scoring, you're still up 3 possessions.
Yeah.
And with the way their team's been playing and how hard they've been finding just to get past midfield, I think Santana Wilson's been really toying around with Brandon Phelps tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the turquoise gloves on, too. Looks pretty cold out on the field. So, I mean, the Texas commit going to U of A. You got Big 12 versus SEC next year. So, it definitely hasn't been as incredible as a matchup as we assumed.
We have another pass in there, but just taken down. It's going to be number 18, I believe is.
No, that's going to be
Michael Schwarber. Yes.
Shout out Mike.
Shout out Mike. We got to really add him onto this roster because I'm assuming he came up just today. Like I don't think the roster's got updated to add Mike.
I think Michael is, I'm assuming, on the max preps.
If you don't mind looking it up for me, yeah.
The roster we have, I don't think has his name on it, unfortunately.
I'll be honest with you, I'm still using week 1's roster. Nothing really changed except for the injuries and how much Coach Hamilton's been using all these players, which is great to see. Desert Mountain, we have a jump plays here and there. It might be a false start.
He's on the max prep.
He is on the max prep.
Shout out Michael Sheldrick. He's been an incredible player tonight.
Indeed. Just both on the offense and the defense as well. Playing really stepping up when it most matters, especially when Desert Mountain, they're out 5 starters, 2 running backs. Dylan Tapley, their number 1 receiver for the year as well. And it's been, I can't really say it's been one person. It's been everyone stepping up. Everyone doing their progresses, everyone doing their statues, and they play terrific as we're going to have a force there. And it's going to be picked up by number 5, McCabe Beardall, gets good receptions there, and Coach Hamilton is letting his players have it. He's just not happy with that one play there, and respectfully so. You don't let a player go off on the corners there, and when it revolves a lot with the corners, it comes down to just one man. And that last play on defense was man on man. You have to cover one man. You stick with them. You don't let any separation happen, and see what happens there. He gets those 3 yards and 3rd and short.
And a lot of props to Bryson Landon coming in. You know, after the unfortunate first half the team had, he's just been able to make easy work so far. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout on the field. And Coach Hamilton is not happy with his guys.
Yeah, he is not happy. He is letting one of his players have it. I think it might be number 19 for the team having it. As he's letting one of his players have it. Just not very happy overall with the defense structure. Obviously, you gave off the fumble. It's, what is it, the fourth fumble tonight?
Yeah,
lost count.
3rd or 4th. It's just, and again, another bad play, though. Even though it brings up 3rd down, I mean, it was just an easy play they could have picked up on the defensive side.
Yep.
But
yeah, and you know, you don't count the fumbles, but you also got the pick 6. That's turnover as well. 5 turnovers. I mean, you're still up 23-7.
Yeah, you probably have. Yeah, sorry, I totally forgot about the pick 6. You probably got 4 or 5 turnovers on the night again.
Yeah, and you're still leading 23-7. That's just more to like how outstanding your defense was, not allowing the offense for ALA-Gilbert North to have any chance to do anything with the ball. And just like you mentioned, maybe it just wasn't the day today for Connor White. As like you said, we have the replacement Bryson Landon coming in, and he's doing this slowly. The only thing really against him right now is the clock. They only have 11 minutes to work with. He's going to hand it off there to Beardall and just met up immediately there. Number 55 there. It's going to be Colton Brodkin making a good tackle there and forcing the 4th down. And obviously they're going to go for it here. But this might be could be a little bit of an exaggeration, but this could probably make or break here for the game.
Yeah, this is the key. This is the key play of the game. You got a lot of guys. You got guys in orange on the sideline calling different plays. I think one is, like kind of colleges do. They got one actually calling the play, and the other are just distractions. But yeah, Bryson Landon has been able to kind of just come in and just take control of the offense. But yeah, this is probably will decide the game.
Confusion all over the place, and
it's going to be another timeout on the field.
It's going to be called a timeout there from head coach Randy Reisdorf. Not happy with the organization. It's 4th and short here. Let's speculate. What kind of play you think the Eagles are going to try to come out here?
I mean, they got to get Phelps involved. I mean, Titan Slade's been awesome for them so far on the defensive side. He's got to get more involved too. And then with Boston Morris, he's been kind of the key offensive weapon for them, along with their running back, McCade Beardle. But they got to get something. But also Desert Mountain, like Cassius Atherton, we haven't really heard his name all night. He's got to get more involved on the line. Dylan Hips got to make an impact too. So I think both teams just need their all from everybody right now, because this can decide the game. Because you got, 10.5 left in the game. You don't know if ALA is going to get the ball back with a lot of time left. You know, Desert Mountain drained the clock in the third quarter pretty much, which was running plays and chunk plays. So, you know, you never know. 4th and short here. This is going to decide the game, and it's all in Bryson Landon's hands.
Indeed. If you're Gilbert North here, you don't want Desert Mountain to get the ball back, because if you're going to just run the ball with Cameron Terry, I like Desert Mountain's chances of just taking the game away, as he's going to have Phelps in the motion. He's going to get immediately pressured out. He connects to his favorite receiver tonight, or should I say the highlight receiver for ALA-Gilbert North, Boston Morris. He gets a correction, just like you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, Boston Morris, he's been great. He's been really solid for them. So, you know, a quick read, we saw Phelps in motion. I thought he was just going to pass it to the outside and just go down the sideline, but that moves a change for the Eagles.
Yeah, and a great play there from Bryson Landon, keeping the play alive. And he was immediately man. He just threw it up there, kind of a prayer play, and great plays there. Good concentration there from Boston Morris. Obviously, not the way you want to catch a ball. If there was a defender near the vicinity, that could have been intercepted. That was just been very bad. Obviously, not a great throw there from Landon, and just not the great concentration. Nonetheless, he gets the corral there, and he gets, 1 yard, 2 yards there? Probably no gain there, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, he goes out of bounds, but the time still continues to clock here. Just under 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. As Landon gets a snap ready in shotgun formation right next to Beardball. Immediately met up there, and he's going to be picked off, and he's going to be taken to the house. It's going to be our MVP, Mike Sheldrick, with the big 6.
Michael Sheldrick, unbelievable game. The fact that he's come in and played like this in Dylan Tapley's,
his absence, yep.
With his absence, and that was that's a big loss for the Wolves. Him to come in and do this, yeah, unbelievable stuff by him tonight with the pick 6. What else has he gotten tonight? I think he's got a couple of huge hits.
Put tackles in there.
Oh, my
goodness. Making a good play, and he just adds the pick 6 to his resume, and my goodness, I'm going to make sure he's going to be on my roster so I don't ever forget. So my apologies to Mike Sheldrick there for not having him on my roster. Such a great play there. Just absolutely read Landon there. Not the greatest play. Too much airtime on that throw. Obviously, he was getting pressure, so he just had to throw it up there. And I'm not sure who was the intended receiver. Really just got lost in thoughts with Mike Sheldrick just getting the pick 6 there and taking it to the house.
Yeah.
So they lead there. They get their points back. Alex Weeks' kick is good. 30-7, and all Desert Mountain tonight.
Yeah, Michael Sheldrick might have just sealed it for the Wolves.
Yeah, essentially just iced the game here. And then we're going to see getting some fans asking the question. Michael Sheldrick getting the pick 6 there. Pick 6s on both sides of the defense, both adding to the scores there. And I guess this is the appropriate time to ask, but, who's your player of the games today?
I mean, it's been Santana Wilson and Michael Sheldrick, so I need to have both of them.
Get both of them rocked on?
I don't know. We did Santana last game.
Okay, it makes sense. You don't want to have, the double coverage and stuff. But, I mean, with the game Santana Wilson's having today, obviously having the big task, because it was no doubt probably one of the highlights for the game. Santana Wilson taking on against Brandon Phelps. And Brandon Phelps really could have been the highlight of the week last week with this game against Cactus Shadows, breaking records, the reception records, and then also having the touchdowns and the receiving yards here in Arizona. So big matchup tonight, but today he met his counterweight tonight. Alex gets the kickoff ready. Going to hand into Beardall. He's going to start running into front actions there. He gets some good yardage there, and he's almost beating it out, but just a speed met up there by one of the defenders, able to break the doll down and forcing Beardall stopped by the 44-yard line, and he's currently down, so hopefully he is okay. But one thing that I've noticed that ALA-Gilbert North could take out of the positives are special teams. Every time these get these kickoff, the punts, they get some pretty solid yards.
Yeah, special teams has been a big emphasis on just their entire play this game. You know, I think it was Will Saba in on that tackle for Desert Mountain. But yeah, the special teams, it's been solid for ALA so far tonight. Unfortunately, they had another big kick return that got brought back because of the holding. But I mean, yeah, I gotta hand it to them if they can bring out one positive that their special teams have just been on point tonight.
Yeah, it's really trying to get, just I guess the questions to ask with Connor White. Just what happened today?
I think it just has the emphasis of Desert Mountain's defense just coming ready to play. We've seen them a lot this season be really, just unprepared, a lot of penalties, unsportsmanlike, stuff like that. So for them to come in, not really have a lot of penalties on unsportsmanlike call and play really good football is what they, I think, really needed heading into playoffs.
Indeed, as Landon throws it off there to Titan Slade, which I'm pretty confident this is his first reception of the night, but honestly, with the way the game's been going, might be his second, his third. But at this point, Landon just trying to get the team back together and try to take something out of the positive, because with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to work with, they're down by multiple scores, and they're going to end up handing it off there to Beardall, and which in hindsight could be they're just throwing the white flag, just letting the time milk out here.
What's interesting, too, we talked about it, I don't know if it was in the third quarter or second quarter, in ALA's losses, they lost to, like we've emphasized a lot, ALA Queen Creek, Higley, and, right now it's potentially looking pretty bad here. They've all lost by 20 points. They're down 23 here. They lost by 20 to both of them. So, as another incomplete pass happens with a flag on the field.
Might be pass interference there.
I think that might show more to this team is really good against competition lower than them, but I think that just means they might just need to step up more to the caliber of teams they're going to probably play in the playoffs.
Absolutely, because despite potentially losing today, that doesn't mean their season ends. They're still they're going to end 5-3. They still have 3 games left. You win those, you end with the record on 8-3.
Yeah.
As we'll penalty
on the defense.
The calendars to see.
They got 2 more. They'll have 2 more games left. They'll have next week and then the week after. But yeah, they're 5-2 right now, 5-3 if they lose here with 8 minutes to go. And, I mean, I think that just speaks to the type of talents they're going to get a running play.
With the penalty going there.
Don't know who that's going to be in on the run. It is Beardall. But, yeah, I think, Sebastian, you look at that team, they've lost a talent that's been up to their caliber, and they've beaten pretty handedly teams that are looked at as lower. That might speak more to just if they're going to be prepared enough to be able to go far in the 5A state playoff.
Yeah, indeed. And obviously using today as a big emphasis because, I saw the scorelines with the 2 games they lost. Well, it was 49 points. So I'm like, okay, if Desert Mountain scored 49 points, then I guess, you have a little trend going on. But the last 2 games that LA will be playing, as Landon's going to get immediately pressured, and he's going to be met up by, I believe that's so hard to tell. I'm sorry. I really can't say, but it's going to be another sack. Jack Garcia, thank you to the PA announcer for helping me out there. Getting the sack for today. I think the first sack for Desert Mountain tonight. Adding on more into the defense showcase. But more to what I was saying, next week, they face off against Notre Dame Prep. They're going to be playing at home. And then their season finale, they'll be playing away at Horizon.
Tough teams.
2 tough teams, indeed. So, perhaps playoffs not truly guaranteed. I think this is going to be the last time out here for Coach Hamilton. Not happy, and that's how you know how committed Coach Hamilton is. They're up 37. They're up 23 points. 6 minutes left in this game. 7 minutes, excuse me. And he still wants his team to play till the very last second. So, very composed there. I believe that's his last time out. Just get the team in order here and really just try to finish this game strong. This game should essentially be a shutout. You know, the scores ALA-Gilbert North scored is just 7 points off the pick six. And even then, that play was just wasn't really constructed well. So essentially, we're looking at a shutout here because the offense non-existent today. They get something going, and then they end up throwing it away. Turnovers, loss of downs, turnovers on downs, and it's just everything really going against themselves.
Yeah, I think I don't think they expected to see what they saw from Desert Mountain's defense, and this is without arguably their best player. Two of their best players, with Tapley and Tony Cumberland both out too. So you kind of tend to question what would have happened if those two were in there. Would it have been worse? But 4 interceptions on the night so far for ALA's offense.
Yeah, 4 interceptions, not good at all. As he's going to find the freshman, Isaac Masi, getting his second reception tonight, going out of bounds. I'm not sure if it is going to be 4th down. 4th and long, I'm assuming if the first down marker is correct. 4th and forever coming up here for ALA-Gilbert North.
Yeah.
And what are your takeaways so far, Parker? Like, this game.
Desert Mountain's just showing why they should be looked at as one of the best in the state.
Really just adding more into their open division resume.
Yeah.
Currently 7th right now. Maybe this game shows them more as pressure immediately made up there by Landon and gets taken down there. It's going to be, I believe, going to be Colton with the sack there. Cole Tappan's going to be the one with the sack there. Shout out to the PA announcements, knowing every jersey number there. Because I am blind. I cannot see the jersey number. I cannot stress that enough. And I am sorry to those just hearing me complain, because that's not what we're here for.
I think that kind of seals it for tonight. I feel like but again, a lot of people question if Desert Mountain was legit. I think even the coaching staff at some points during the season questioned if they were going to be good enough to really contend. Tonight, this is a team that's looked at as one of the best in the state offensively, and they've been able to just really control what's going to happen as we're going to see a quarterback sneak here.
I think Hergis is in play. I'm assuming Brady McDonough's night is done for today. Great stats overall, very consistent, just that 1 interception, and just really just trying to protect the ball much better. But, he asked you got to talk with Coach Hamilton. He told you that he said specifically that they look like a 5A mediocre team, the mediocre undefeated team in the nation, or in Arizona. Would you dare ask him again?
No.
View yourself as a mediocre undefeated team still.
They've had 2 really strong weeks against Cactus Shadows, which is looked at as a little bit of a lesser opponent, and then tonight they've really just controlled this entire game.
As we're going to have the runoff there, I think that's Cameron Terry. Great game from him as well. Obviously, not in comparison to Santana Wilson or, Mike Sheldrick. As for players of games, it's been more a defensive battle today. Defense showed out today, and especially Santana Wilson. He's shown why Texas want him, and just adding on to his fantastic senior debut season.
Yeah, 2 picks for him on the night, a couple of tackles too. He's been really solid. Michael Sheldrick has really stepped up in that free safety role, as with Dylan Tapley out. I think, again, we saw this against Cactus Shadows. It was an all-around team effort to get that 20-plus point win. Tonight, again, they're up 30-7. Like, another all-around team effort. No one has really, I guess,
stood
been
out,
the star and standing out.
Absolutely.
But besides Michael and Santana. But again, like Jack Freeberg getting the big 60-yard reception touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, and I really set the tone.
Solomon did it again. They had a fumble. They had a couple of picks. It's just been another all-around team effort besides the slip-up from Brady, which I don't even blame on him. It was a mistimed pass. It got tipped. It's just been another all-around team effort by everybody.
Yeah, the only question marks you could really take off in this game if you're Desert Mountain is just the turnovers.
Yeah.
You allow if the counts add up, 4 fumbles in tonight's game, you lose all of them. You don't actually recover a single one of them. That's 5 turnovers. You're still up very well, and your defense, they did not give up there as Hergis looks deep there, and he has the man open, but it is dropped through the hands. I believe that was Journey Solomon who dropped the pass there into his hands. Just an absolute throw there, and just great awareness there from Bryce Hergis there.
Bryce has got an arm, clearly. I mean, that's just kind of what we're going to see. He has that arm strength, and he's going to get, all of the snaps next year. But for tonight, him and McDonough, they've kind of played a little bit of like a J.J. Cade McNamara role that Michigan had a couple of years ago, just being able to be a dual quarterback system and take out ALA's probably game plan. But, yeah, and it looks like they're going for it.
Nothing to lose. Probably try to get a hard count here.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to get maybe like a false start just to go a little back and just get a good punt.
The time is out, so I'm curious.
Probably a miss of a hiccup there. Well, one of the referees called it there. It looks like it might be a delay game. Will be a delay game indeed. Maybe just adding more yards. Alex Weeks, the punter Tyler Stanford gets a better punt. You see that a lot. You see that a lot in the NFL. Trying to get some good punts and get just more space open. So Tyler Stafford getting ready for the punt. Last time he was here, amazing punt. Delivered it all the way to the 1-yard line. And the magic happened, forced fumbles and stuff like that. And it's been really a lot of Desert Mountain. It's been mostly Desert Mountain. And just like that, a great homecoming for the home team.
Oh, my goodness.
Collided, and it will be a penalty. It's going to be a roughing the punter, on ALA-Gilbert North, and that essentially just ices up what this entire game is for ALA.
And I think that's just going to be, first down for the Wolves, I believe?
I think that's going to be automatic first down. NFL rules is 15 yards, which is an automatic first, but going to be an automatic first without a doubt. And just fresh pair of downs with 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Just put in the second stringers and just clock the rest of the time. And
it's still going to be Eagles ball, it looks like. I think Coach Hamilton...
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to add more to the yardage of ALA.
Maybe perhaps it was like a redo of play or just add it on.
I just wish rules were sometimes the same for all levels.
Yeah, just keep it same and just keep it all.
We don't get that.
Yeah,
so.
And the change of complexity, it just makes it so much more harder to understand what's going on. And then like not only do we look dumb and stuff like that, but mostly just us because we're just like, we're trying to figure out what's going on with the play.
We don't get the ref mic to over the speakers.
We don't, but I think that's a really cool feature over the mic. So Landon with the possession here, looking for his receiver. Able to fight tight. Slade, he breaks a tackle, and just like that, he's going to get a touchdown on this play. It only takes him one play, and wonder what just happened there. Just a broken all-around play there from Desert Mountain, and the offense for ALA-Gilbert North gets their first touchdown. 4 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in this game.
Yeah, Titan Slade, his second or third reception on the night leads to a big score. A lot of time left. 4.5 minutes. We got a couple of timeout. You got one timeout left for ALA as well. A lot of time left on the board. They're down 17 right now, possibly 16 with the kick.
Yeah, and that's a two-possession game. You go for the 8 point.
It's a two-possession game if they're going for two, and it doesn't look like they're going to, but
maybe not for now because they will wait for the 8 after and just go for the field goal and ensure that they're only down by 2 possessions. Field goes up, and it is good. Number 6, Garrett Baker gets the extra point good. 30-14, 16-point game. What just happened there for the defense?
I don't know. I don't know. The play happened so quickly. The ball snapped. They looked like they had a couple of blitzers, and then all of a sudden, Slade had the ball in his hands, and he's going downfield. So, I mean, I think it was just maybe a miscommunication with the defensive backs, and it led to an open receiver and points on the board for ALA.
Yeah, I'm curious because Coach Hamilton went to go talk with Cole Tappan, one of the defensive linemen, perhaps had to play to swat it down or just not allowed to play there. But, I mean, it was just a simple play. Titan Slade, simple slant route. Look, very similar to what Jordan Solomon did, simple slant, and then the speed takes over, and you get the quick touchdown, which is exactly the worst-case scenario there for Desert Mountain. Not only does the offense get points, it's their first points, could be used as momentum, and there's still plenty of time left here.
Yep.
So perhaps...
And they only got one guy in the backfield for Desert Mountain.
Yeah.
Could this be a possible onside kick or a pooch punt to get the ball back with Santana and Wilson only back there?
Looks like it might be an onside, trying to get the fingers in here, and they're going to try to see what they could do here. It is going to be an onside kick. It's going straight to the big lucky bounce, but into the hands of Jack Freeberg, and he looks like he's going to take it to the house. All right, he's going to be big enough there. He beats up the first tackle, and he is going to take it to the house there.
He stepped out of bounds.
He did step out of bounds. Good eye there from Parker. I thought he took it all the way. Jack Freeberg nonetheless gets the ball possession there and gets good Grayfield. But sucks to suck if you're Desert Mountain, you're unable to get the touchdown off the onside kick.
Yeah.
It's not often you see that.
No, definitely not. And yeah, he stepped out of bounds. We can't see from here. I heard a couple of whistles. So
okay.
I was like, he must have stepped out of bounds. But still, they're in a great field area to get that touchdown, still bring them up about 20 points again. So you got Brady McDonough coming back onto the field, kind of like we talked about.
Yeah.
Every other drive, they're going to bring in a different quarterback. But again, they were able to get that onside kick, not let ALA get it, and now they got a great field area.
Yeah.
Great fieldage.
We're very interested in seeing Coach Hamilton really play around with the different quarterback systems, maybe trying to see what works best. Regardless, I feel like all the slides that's going to have either quarterback, they're just going to hand it off to Cameron Terry, and then Cameron, excuse me, I'm get a little tongue twister there, just to really clock as much time as he can. At this point, I think it's safe to say that Desert Mountain probably will walk off with the victory here. They're going to go 8-0. I want to say for the first time, but I mean, I'm not really too familiar with Desert Mountain's history. And they're in prime position. They're going to add more to the resume for that open division spot and really try to solidify themselves as one of the top teams here for 5A. And trying to get revenge from last year. And next week's going to be even more interesting. Playing against the teams that beat them in the championship round. Or excuse me, not the championship round, the series before that game, the semifinals. Higley High School, and that game will be a home game as well. So undefeated at away, undefeated at home. Going to be going 8-0 pending this result for today, as there's going to be a timeout here to get both teams settled in. And Parker, I mean, what's your giveaway? What's your takeaways for this game?
Kind of just what I've been saying. This Desert Mountain came to play, but again, bad play call here with the run. It brings up 3rd down and long. ALA just use their final timeout. They can't get a first down here. That's got to put the ball back in ALA's hands, and it's a 2-score game. You never know what could happen.
Indeed.
But, I think it just got it. Desert Mountain can't just turn the switch off now. Yep. They got to keep it going for the last 3.5 minutes, because if they don't, we've seen if DM's sleeping, ALA's going to capitalize, and that's led to 2 scores with the pick 6 and now the touchdown.
And the pick 6
so, it's going to be curious. I'm really interested to see what the offensive coordinator for the Wolves has drawn up to do for 3rd and long, because you can't just waste the clock now. I mean, ALA's line has played really good. And, Brady McDonough, this is nothing going to be another crucial play for him and the rest of the Wolves team for the game.
Yeah, indeed. And if it just takes one play to score a touchdown, then that where the trouble really spices up there. As Brady McDonough's going to get the snap here. Motions Terry onto his right side. He's going to have the QB sneaker, and he's just going to take it all the way, and he cuts it up to the corner. He has open space, and he just takes it in for the touchdown. Unless he steps out of bounds.
It's a touchdown.
Looks like it's going to be a touchdown like that, and that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's probably going to just take Desert Mountain. Great running scheme there, and the fireworks go on. How much fireworks do they have tonight? Great homecoming game for Desert Mountain. The fans are pleased. Everyone in Arizona is happy.
Yeah, I mean, we literally said, this is a crucial play for Brady in this game. He hasn't had, probably to his standards, what he would call a good game. And, we have a player down on the field. But back to Brady, I think just with it, he's had a lot of ups and downs throughout the year. He's got 7 interceptions on the season. But, yeah, another great rushing. And, again, we've seen him use his legs positively to get another touchdown.
Indeed. And he gets his positive yards coming in. And, just great overall play awareness there. And then obviously not the play you wanted there for ALA-Gilbert North. You get the stop there. Best case scenario, you get a turnover on there. I think the best case scenario was probably forcing the fumble and then taking it to the house. But but then you let them score the touchdown, and now it's back to a 3-possession game. 3 minutes and 26 seconds left. You're asking to average now a touchdown every minute possible, because it only takes them one play to really score, and they showed it too with Titan Slade getting that huge touchdown. But time is just against them now. They're backed up in the wall now, potentially heading 5-3. Next week they play against Notre Dame Prep. Following week, their last game, they play against Horizon. So can't really say they're guaranteed to make it into the playoff position just yet. But great news, player down on the field was number 54, who is not on our roster. But luckily for him, he's doing okay. He's got up well. Coach Hamilton in support obviously doesn't like to see his players down on the floor. So great rest from him. Brady McDonough showing love as well. And, one thing with Coach Hamilton, like you mentioned, you don't want the team to stop playing. You want the team to play 110% until that 3 minutes and 26 seconds is completely zero. Triple zeros, you want your team to win until the last buzzer is set. And just like that, team's up 36-14. They're only pending this extra point here from Alex Weeks. He gets to kick up, and it is good. Is it good? It's no good. He's playing games with me, so it is no good. Only 13 points away from scoring 49 points. And I'm just really bringing it up because it's just the unlucky number for ALA-Gilbert North when they're both losses. But now 36 allowed here and scored a touchdown offensively. They scored a touchdown defensively, but they just scored them too late. And the time just nowhere near them. And even then, 3 minutes and 26 seconds, I think they just use this drive, see what they could do, and see what works and what doesn't work. Perhaps another slant route here, and Titan Slade gets it here and takes it to the house, and then question starts to arise on the Desert Mountain defense, like what the heck just happened. But
yeah, you just never know, I feel like, with high school football, too. All of a sudden, like we've talked about a lot in tonight's broadcast, like one play can change it, and that's happened a handful of times, it feels like, with multiple turnovers for both teams. And with Titan Slade getting that last touchdown for ALA, Brady McDonough rushing it in right there for the score to put him up again by 20-plus points. But, yeah, it's just been a very interesting game between both sides.
Yeah, and I think, you take out the penalties, that's really good. Desert Mountain keeping those and playing composure football. But the turnovers, you can't have that happen, especially if you would have played a tougher team. And next week, they go against a very tough team, Higley, the team that beat them last year. And what am I mentioning with these kickoffs? The special teams always getting very, very good yards. Starting up from his own 5-yard line, and he's able to get 40 yards there. And they're at their own 47 yards. Special teams really having action here for ALA-Gilbert North, and it's something positive that they could take away.
Yeah, it looks like it was Garrett Baker in on the kick return that time. But like you said, the special teams, they've been really good. They've been getting their offense really good fieldage to make a play. And unfortunately, just ALA-Gilbert North has not been able to capitalize on that, using two quarterbacks too, which is probably not something they're used to. But, you got to give it to them for being able to get that. I think that just also goes to really good blocking by all the rest of the players on the field.
Yeah, indeed. And I don't want to keep it to myself, but weird fact, the last opponents these both guys played was against Cactus Shadows.
Oh, interesting.
Little fun fact. And that's because Desert Mountain obviously coming back from their bye week. But if I'm saying something here as Landon looking deep, and he has Brandon Phillip wide open. And just as we mentioned, one play is all it takes. And just like that, the game isn't over just yet, with Parker giving me a look of what just happened. Break that down for me, Parker. You just pointed up, and I see Brandon Phillips wide open.
I don't know why you're asking me to break it down. I don't know what I just saw.
Oh, my goodness. Broken coverage there.
Jeez, this is... they're still up 16 points, but it feels like they're down by 16 points.
Yeah, and now the question's asked, like, if ALA-Gilbert North, you stop them not scoring those two touchdowns, it's a what? 28-21.
It's going to be 36-21 now with the good field goal.
Yeah. Yeah, but you don't allow the pick six. You don't allow the touchdown from Brady McDonough. You take out 14 points. You make those two extra actually 13 because Alois did miss the extra point. You're up 23-21 right now.
Yeah, man. I'm interested to see who Coach Hamilton's going to go with at the quarterback position now, because I think they probably thought they were just going to drain the clock, do a couple of running plays, and tonight would be the night. But, now you got yourself a game. Even though it's still a big deficit with 15 points, if they get this onside kick, geez, you don't know what's going to happen. But I don't think Coach Conrad Hamilton is going to be very happy right now. They go from scoring 23 points in the first half to being it was 23-0.
Yeah, halftime.
Now it's, if you really take that away, it's 21-13 points scored.
Yeah, and those three touchdowns all happened in a singular play.
One play.
Pick six, and then the two slant routes, and they're open. Although I don't think Brandon Phelps was a slant route, but
still he was open regardless.
Extremely open. Maybe it just missed coverage there, and I'm not sure who was on coverage there from Brandon Phelps. One could assume it was Santana Wilson because Santana Wilson's been on Brandon Phelps the entire game, and allowing nothing out of him. No production except from that last play. So here comes the onside kick. McKay Beardall ready for the kick. He lets it go. Good shrivel pick, and it's still in play.
Oh, my.
And it is going to be picked on by ALA at Gilbert North. And there's going to be a bit of a question there, fans throwing out. Because something that I did notice is the 10 yards. When the ball needs to pass 10 yards. And before that even happened, ALA Gilbert North touched the ball. And then right after that, Desert Mountain touched the ball. But even then, that's a penalty flag. Desert Mountain, or that's either a re-kick or Desert Mountain has possession.
The refs are talking. It's going to be ALA Gilbert North's ball.
Looks like what they're looking at right now. Ref. It is going to be ALA Gilbert North's. And there's still game happening. Miscommunication from the refs because that's obviously an illegal kick. Because one of the players for ALA Gilbert North touched the ball 8 yards into the onside kick.
I'm with you, Sebastian. I thought that he touched it before. I don't know what player specifically it was that touched it. There was a white jersey that touched the ball before it went 10 yards.
Yep.
You got just under 3 minutes to go. It's a 2-possession game. Like, oh,
I guess to see who was on QB, we're gonna have to wait for Desert Mountain.
Well, we don't even know if they're gonna get the ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point you bring up. But now the point is, don't give up the big run here. You have the one-on-one here, and he's going to get met up there. Huge play there by the defensive linemen for Desert Mountain. Not allowing the play to fulfill and to develop and get him for the sack there. I'm not sure who was able to make the sack there, but just forcing the ball down, gets the clock going, and just stops that one play touchdown momentum. Just huge play there from Desert Mountain's defense.
That was Brody Olson in on the tackle. The middle linebacker came from the other side of the ball as the ball's about to snap here. But, yeah, Brody Olson in on the tackle.
Landon with the possession of the ball, throws it deep into the slant, and it's going to be corralled by Titan Slay. I thought that was picked off by one of the linemen there.
Wait,
or
did
the
he catch it?
Yeah, he did catch it.
Goodness.
He did catch. I was so confused with the motion there from one of the linebackers. I think that was Dylan Hip with the motion there, but that was caught there by Titan Slade, and drive keeps moving, but time does stop, does go out of bounds. 12 minutes and 26 to work with. Landon in the background, working with something, and something to really add on. It's ALA Gilbert North. Their offense started sparking when they had Landon come in, and he's gonna look for the deep pass. There's Brandon Phelps, and pass just short onto Brandon Phelps, but Santana Wilson was all over that coverage.
Yeah, Santana Wilson did a good job just making sure he couldn't get to the inside, because I think that's what hurt Desert Mountain on that last touchdown drive by ALA was they let him in on the inside and he just went to the house.
Yep.
But, with it, they got to look for a deep ball here. They're on 4th down. And I'm not going to say this is their last play of the game because we've thought that a couple of times with 9 minutes left in the game.
Too many.
We were calling it quits before the game was even over too. But yeah, let's see what they can come up here with 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down. This is the do it break time. He gets the open receiving there, but all over him is it's Santana Wilson. As soon as the ball gets into the hands of Brandon Phelps, Santana Wilson was riding him all over that and forces Brandon Phelps to make the incompletion there. Turnovers on downs, and that's essentially going to do it for this game. Confidentially.
I'm not saying it.
All right.
I'm not saying anything.
I take it back then. Not yet. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. Desert Mountain up 2 possessions here. And, I mean, what a way there to Desert Mountain just to stop the bleeding. And it's going to be Brady McDonough in, so no Bryce Hurges on this drive. As Brady's going to get the motion here. He's just going to hand it off here to Kevin Terry. Goes up straight into the middle. And as you mentioned, or heard from one of the fans, I don't think ALA Gilbert North has timeouts to.
Yeah, they got no more timeouts in the game. So
no more
clock
timeouts
just to go.
Yeah, essentially this is just the ball game for Desert Mountain. Great game overall from both sides of the team. Great last-minute effort from ALA Gilbert North, not really giving up. And, the question marks really arise to Connor White. Was it just a bad game today, just a fluke? Question marks around, but really great play there from Bryson Landon, just coming in and, trying to flip this game around. Almost did it, make it happen. It didn't take too much either. It just figured out the offense a bit too late. Time's out against them, and now Desert Mountain looks poised to go 8-0 after the bye week. They look great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Coach Hamilton is going to be happy with the second half effort by this team. But again, they're without starters, so you just never know what's going to happen. But again, it's just they were outscored 21-13 in the second half. And for me, if I'm a coach on this team, that's unacceptable with how many mistakes were made from both sides of the ball, with defense being sloppy, with offense not being able to control the ball with a couple of fumbles. So, I think it's kind of the team, the offense and the coaching staff should go back to the drawing board for this team, I think, heading into Higley next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And, maybe if ALA-Gilbert North would have figured things out a tad earlier and taken advantage of all those turnovers that they got, all those fumbles, this would have been a different ball game, a different football game. And who knows what could happen.
And maybe if they went to Bryson Landon earlier in the game, it could have been different. As it looks like we're getting a timeout on the field, I believe.
The time's still moving,
never mind. I don't know what's.
I think the referee's just saying that to end the game.
They
or bit of confusion here from the referees and the staff here for Desert Mountain. But I think that might do it. They got 9 seconds. The time is still moving. Nonetheless, they're gonna see how this play goes out, and they're gonna stop it right at the 1 yard line.
No. There's a penalty on.
There is a penalty.
Desert Mountain.
So yeah, referee signaling 2. So that means there's still 2 seconds left in this game. Nonetheless,
I'm really confused. Sorry, I'm really confused as to what's happening.
I think if I could connect it together, I think Desert Mountain assumed that was the last play of the game. They would just milk the rest of the clock. But referees trying to keep it professional as they can. There's still 2 seconds left in the game, so play out those 2 seconds. So they're going to just do it with the punts here and just finish out the rest, or they're just going to get a ball and just snap it here and just throw the ball out, and that clocks the rest of the 2 minutes. Nonetheless, as to be aware for this last play, Brady has the ball. He's just going to take a knee. That's going to do it here at Desert Mountain High School. My name is Sebastian Mondaka. I'm joined here. Thank you so much for joining us with Parker Gurash. Don't go anywhere. Go to the Twitter handle on Varsity Show on Twitter, on X, and just see all of our amazing content that we provide for the Varsity Sports Show. Also tomorrow from 8 to 10 a.m. at KDUS 1060, we have our Varsity Sports Radio Show hosted by Vince D'Alicio and our fabulous interns. We also going to have Coach Hamilton join us too in our morning slates. I thank you. My name is Sebastian Mondaga, and I thank all of my crew. Shout out to Lorenzo, to Tyler, Brandon, and Steven, also my caller, and myself. Thank you for joining us and giving us a chance tonight. And great game. Desert Mountain come out victorious here at home. They go on 8-0. They win 36-21 against ALA Gilbert North. Thank you so much.